On today's episode, if you're watching this as a drinking game, whatever you do, don't take a drink every time they say the word bakushi. You will die. We watched Tin Soldier today on Nothing Movies.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
Welcome back to Nothing Movies.
Hey, welcome back, everyone.
And welcome to 2026. We did it. We did it. We survived another full calendar year, and here we are, and we're still in the same place, and we're still doing the same thing, talking about the movies that have little to no cultural relevance, and deciding whether or not they have a certain something, or if they're just a whole lot of nothing. I'm still Kaz Lescard.
Last I checked, I was Jameson Rafter, still.
And I'm Harrison Mooney.
Yes!
And I'm also here.
The one guest we never have to introduce because he does it himself.
He insists on doing it himself. Welcome.
I just assumed that's what I was supposed to do.
Welcome back, Harrison.
I'm sorry, everyone.
It's your fourth time on our show, and you.
the Four Timers Club. Who else is here? It's me
Danny?
and
Definitely Danny.
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman.
Hannah, maybe?
I think Hannah might be up to 4 or 3. I don't know. Maybe we'll get her into the club.
Sure.
Yes, but if you get one more, we will have to buy you some sort of jacket.
Yes.
I take note. I said some sort of. I don't know what kind of quality it is. It's whatever jacket we can find on the day.
It's gonna
One word, Kaz.
It's gonna be
which
like
is a hyphenated word, so it's actually 2 words.
and is it all capitalized and shouted?
And it's all caps, so when you spell it, it's actually just one word together, but it's 2 words now, and it's velvet lined.
All right.
Velvet lined, okay.
That's what I want for my jacket.
I make no promises. I can put a patch of velvet in one of the pockets.
No, I'll know if it's not.
We'll go to a fabric store, we'll get like a bunch of velvet, we'll line the inside
Velvet
of
is not cheap. I don't know if you know this. It's one of the more expensive fabrics. So.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get like
what I
a.
want.
How much is a sheet? Like a
Just a sheet.
A ream of velvet.
No, I mean like a letterhead size.
So we're
velvet.
not SNL. We don't get our 5th time guest jackets. We just get them a roll of fabric.
And you're
just
lucky
be
to
all
get
like-
that, all right?
You can do whatever you want with this.
It's just the velvet lined jacket.
Keep
by
your loose
IKEA.
change in it. I don't care. It's
Get
your
it from the
velvet.
warehouse.
It's 2026,
Yeah.
and we are looking back on the films of 2025, and I wanted, for our first episode of the year, I wanted to try and find the most nothingest movie that was released in the calendar year of 2025, which is why we are here talking about Tin Soldier, starring... Oh, yes?
The Tin Soldier?
Yeah, this is yet another movie that we have covered on this podcast that cannot decide what it wants its title to be. Opening titles, the movie is called The Tin Soldier. Everywhere else, including ending titles, it's just Tin Soldier. The movie
really?
cannot figure out if it wants to be a definite article or not.
What to do with that the? Huh.
What a difference a the makes.
Really, yes.
Really, yeah.
The was a metaphor for the pain he was holding on to, and so by the end,
Well,
He
Jamie...
gets rid of the.
he had finally...
He explains in the movie that he's like a poorly poured tin soldier and there's not enough metal for him. Of course, the title is based on the classic song by the band Coven. Go ahead, cheat your neighbor. Go ahead and cheat a friend. I didn't do that right, but yeah, you know.
No, I'm sure.
Harrison liked that one.
I laughed at how silent it got in the moment after you said Coven. Just no purchase on that reference whatsoever.
People know what that song is, right?
Yeah,
on
no,
the
it happened again.
morning after, one tin soldier rides away. All right, fine.
No.
It was a one-hit wonder of the 70s. But yes, Tin Soldier, directed by Brad Furman, starring Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx, 2-time Academy Award winner Robert De Niro, and
Beloved character actor John Leguizamo.
I love it. I was happy to see him.
very charming
And
But who are we talking about this go around?
Teen Choice Award winner Scott Eastwood. I looked it up. He actually has, in fact, won a single award in his prestigious career. And yes, Harrison, the entire reason I asked you to be a guest on this episode is because I thought it would be funny to make you watch a Scott Eastwood movie, an actor that I know you hate from the bottom of your heart.
Oh, I like Scott Eastwood. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't actually know what good acting is. Like, I know what it is when I see it.
You know what it isn't,
But if
though.
I had to say, like, which performance is better than another performance, like, I don't know. They were both
Scott Eastwood
performances.
is the metric.
Yeah.
But Scott Eastwood, I know for sure that that's bad acting. I know for sure that every choice he makes is a bad choice, and that the
Every
acting
choice?
he's doing is bad. Every single choice.
Certainly every choice he makes in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, well, bad acting is Scott Eastwood. That's the one thing I know for sure.
Okay.
He's the worst actor I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I feel very passionately about this. I know one thing about acting, and it's that Scott Eastwood is bad at it.
That's the first thing they teach you at Juilliard.
Which is odd, because you would assume he grew up surrounded by actors who might have
That he learned a thing or two
Yeah,
from.
might have taught him a little bit about the craft.
Doesn't have it.
Like his dad certainly had enough actors in his life.
Oh, you mean Clint Eastwood?
We had a.
Is that his?
Yeah, I
Is
think that's
that who Scott
Oh,
Eastwood's
yes.
dad? Eastwood?
Look, if it's anything like some of my buddies, they're not going to know who the fuck Scott Eastwood is, and the first question they're going to ask, what, is he like related to Clint Eastwood in any way?
What do you think they'd say when you told them that he's actually like the main guy in this movie after all those other guys? That's Scott Eastwood that they've never
The
heard
lead,
of.
yeah.
The main guy.
Yeah.
Look, I think you could say that about like certain nepo babies. The one thing you can say about Scott Eastwood is that Scott Eastwood really looks like his dad.
Yeah.
It's like a weird bizarro version of young Clint Eastwood, where it's all like they took young Clint Eastwood but took all of the charisma right out of him.
and the talent.
Look, we were saying on the drive over here, Harrison, that Clint Eastwood maybe isn't like the strongest actor in the world, but one thing he is undeniably really good at is being Clint Eastwood.
Oh yeah.
If you need Clint Eastwood in your movie, he's one of the best.
Yeah.
If not number one at being Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
And look, the man has made so many fucking movies. I'm sure someone out there could be all like, Clint Eastwood's amazing in this, and I'm all like, I believe you.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like having that body of work throughout like the 60s and 70s, just being grizzled hard ass Clint Eastwood. They don't make movie stars quite like that anymore, where they're like pretty much just one-trick ponies. But you kind of milk that until they decide to hang it up.
He had a lane. Right?
Yeah, he had a lane.
Real lane. But Scott Eastwood, man, it's not even that he's veering all over the road lane-wise. I'm trying to keep this metaphor going.
Keep it.
He's swerving.
No, it's that he's not there. Like, you watching him, and he's just
He
doing
failed
nothing.
driver's ed.
He gives you nothing. Like, really, truly nothing.
And then when he tries to give you something, you're all like, Scott, less of that,
yeah.
less of whatever this is that you're
And
that you're attempting to do.
there definitely is a scene in
There's
this
a single scene
Yeah,
that we
one
all know
time.
what
We
you're
all-
talking about.
we all
Jameson.
saw him act for a
Yeah.
second.
You guys watched this movie together. I watched it solo, and when that part came on, I was just like, oh boy, to be a fly on the wall for this scene with you
No,
two.
thank you. And what makes it so amazing, the one scene where he attempts to truly act in this movie, is that his scene partner is Robert De Niro. Can we just take a minute to sit with that? Robert fucking De Niro is in this movie.
Yeah.
First time we've ever talked about him on this show.
What was
Jameson?
This is kind of like, this is wild. We have an opportunity to like spotlight the career of legendary Robert De Niro and beloved actor Jamie Foxx, and we're burning out talking about Scott goddamn Eastwood.
At a certain point, we can wrap up the Scott Eastwood discussion. Look, Harrison, you and I, we've had discussions about nepotism in the past. I err more on the side of, there are a lot more Nepo babies that I am actually quite fond of. I'm actually a little softer on the whole Nepo baby discussion, because I do think some genuinely terrific actors come out of having had, the opportunities of having famous parents or whatever. The list is longer than the people who truly don't deserve to be in this industry. Scott Eastwood is on the opposite side of that list.
Yeah, Nepo babies, there's lots of them, and I don't want to hold it against them.
Sure, they didn't ask.
It's not their fault.
They didn't ask their father to be
I'm sorry for the silver
Meg Ryan.
spoon.
Yeah,
right,
it's
what are
like
you
it
gonna
just
do?
happens.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? And some people are Judy Garland Jr. and other people aren't.
No one outside of this room is going to get that
No,
reference.
that one's just for us.
That's for us.
I think it lands independent.
I think it does. I actually think it does.
No.
We could provide context for that reference, but you know what?
It's a bit of a walk.
That one's just for us.
That's just for us.
That's just a joke for the three people in this room.
But let's
Don't
just,
forget to smash subscribe.
for the purposes of this, let's just say, okay, yeah, Judy Garland Jr. That is now the
yeah.
catch-all term we're going to have for Nepo babies.
Yes, so let me close this off, right?
Yeah.
So I don't begrudge any Judy Garland Jr. who can hang. Don't spit out your coffee.
No,
who can hang, right? Like, if you can hang, it's like, that's fine. Like, you're allowed to stay. But it's the ones who suck so bad
Yeah.
that they're only here because their dad's good at this.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's like Scott Eastwood, Bronny James.
And you know what? And Scott Eastwood is making the case a lot harder for actors like Jack Quaid or Colin Hanks to be like, we didn't ask our parents to stick their necks out for us. We bled sweat and tears through these auditions, and they didn't call in a few favors for us. Like we earned our stripes here.
I don't
Whereas,
even need that.
Yeah.
Because I think some of these people did not blood, sweat, and tears through the auditions. Their dad called someone. That happens. And that's fine if they're still good in the role. If they still don't ruin the movie.
Right.
But Scott Eastwood is it's just such a poison pill that to do this favor for Clint, it just seems like...
A man who has not headlined a movie in decades.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, why, what favors do you owe Clint Eastwood at this stage?
The thing that's so frustrating
Who
about...
at the studios does Clint Eastwood still call up? Who's taking Clint Eastwood's calls these days?
Clint Eastwood, 94-year-old Clint Eastwood still has an impressive amount of sway.
And pull. And,
Maybe less so because he did...
chair thing. What about the chair thing?
Look, the chair thing was like a full decade ago.
No,
guys.
we're never going to forgive him for the chair thing. He yelled at that
Only
chair so
kind
hard.
of just now has sort of like his strength within the industry kind of start to wane. Like there was a year, there was like a decade where like he would make like the most insane choices. Like, did you guys ever hear about this movie Clint Eastwood directed called The 1517 to Paris, which is based on a real life event that happened where these three soldiers were on vacation in France or whatever, and they were on a train and they stopped a terrorist attack. And it was like a real life moment of heroism, and it's just like this big for the people on the train deal, but kind of like in terms of like world events, just kind of like a small
blip on the radar.
A small interesting story. And Clint Eastwood made a movie about it, and in the role of the three guys who averted the disaster and stopped the terrorist attack, he cast the three guys.
I thought you were going to say Michael B. Jordan playing them all.
No, he cast the actual dudes that did it.
That's cool.
And unsurprisingly, not great actors.
no.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I was gonna
they're literal heroes. They stopped like a bombing or whatever, but that doesn't necessarily transfer over to another set of skills.
Too much verisimilitude, I think.
And he
too.
can, he makes like weird decisions, like having like the rubber baby in American Sniper. I could make a list of like all of like the crazy shit that Clint Eastwood movies do or whatever, but also a lot of them are really fucking good. I mean, for fuck's sakes, the man won 2 Oscars.
Yeah, for a good
Incredible
reason.
career.
Yeah.
But the career of Clint Eastwood, wonderful though it may be, does not justify the career of Scott Eastwood. And that's my big complaint.
This is what's crazy.
about
It's
this film.
like, truly, where did Scott Eastwood spring from, if not his dad making calls? Because you look at the very beginning of his career, and it's tiny roles in his dad's movies. He's in Flags of Our Fathers, Gran Torino, Invictus, and then he starts getting like tiny roles, like he's in Texas Chainsaw 3D, he's in Fury, he's in Suicide Squad, not the good one, the bad one that no one likes.
He's the reason it's so bad.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
that alone.
That's the
Okay.
reason.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
and
He
no
just-
one else.
I thought it was
allowed.
like a million other things.
Just acid burning through the screen.
And then his only like lead roles are in like Nicholas Sparks romance movies, straight to DVD westerns where he's trying to capture some of his dad's old magic.
Straight to DVD like a year ago. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, now it's straight to streaming, but back then it was straight to DVD.
Hot off the press.
He's completely he is in multiple Fast and Furious movies, but you completely forget that he's in there because he has no charisma. He's in the sequel to Pacific Rim that no one remembers came out, and it's just like we keep trying to make this guy a thing. In last year in 2025, he was in 4 movies.
They gave him a kaiju? Did they give him a kaiju?
They didn't give him a kaiju. They gave him
the mech suits.
They gave him a robot.
Aren't those called kaiju?
No, the kaiju are the monsters.
The kaiju are the monsters?
I want to say
Kaiju are the monsters.
What are the mech suits called?
Well, they're called mech suits.
Jaegers.
Jaegers. Thank
Jaegers,
you. You
yeah.
got there first. Yes.
Yeah.
They gave him a Jaeger, and I guess he
Edit this so I said Jaeger.
Yeah. That'll sound great.
But
They gave him a Jaeger!
And that movie did not do well at the box office, so you could technically call it a Jaeger bomb.
Oh.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey!
When you look at the Scott Eastwood career, and you're just all like, "Who asked for this? And why are we funding this?
Yeah.
Why are we continuing to support this? And how does he end up as the lead?" I mean, like, and I said on the way over here to Harrison, it's all like, at least he's not in like theatrically released movies anymore. At least he's where he belongs, in movies that go straight to Paramount Plus.
Buried on Paramount Plus under all those Sonics.
Yeah, where you never have to put eyes on him unless
That's
you're
right.
hosting a podcast. Or
You want to scale the mountain, but like you don't have to scale it very far to get to Scott Eastwood. He's near the base camp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can watch Scott Eastwood or every NCIS. That's the great thing about Paramount.
Tough call.
Everyone entirely back to back to back
watch
instead of Scott Eastwood for 80 minutes.
You watch those commercials, and Captain Picard is hanging out with Hey Arnold and Knuckles and Peyton Manning, and then just like if you squint really hard in the back, this Scott Eastwood is just like buried underneath a snowdrift, and no one is helping him.
Why would you watch that instead of Tulsa King? Tulsa King is Paramount Plus.
Is that a Paramount Plus thing?
Are you familiar with Tulsa King? That's
Stallone's show, right?
I'm familiar with Tulsa King.
Stallone
Yes, I've
show.
never been desperate enough to sit down and watch it.
It's got some good Stallone.
Isn't Samuel L. Jackson on the new season? Or it's or he's getting like a Tulsa King spin-off? I think I heard something around those lines. Maybe I'm making that
Tulsa
up,
Duke.
but-
Martin Starr is in Tulsa King.
I love Martin Starr.
He's awesome in
Okay.
Tulsa King. I'll say Tulsa King every time I can. It's so fun to say
Take a
Tulsa
drink
King.
every time you say
Put in a
Tulsa
plug in
King.
for that,
And
yeah.
just because he says everything, and you gotta get way down here, but then you have to go.
Hey, how's it going? I'm the Tulsa
You
King,
go
you know?
way-
Welcome to Tulsa.
There it is.
All right, great first episode for the new year, boys.
It's just so low. It's like what's it? ASMR. That's what I'm looking for. It's like that. It's like the
Asshole ASMR. That's where we're up to.
thing. So horrible.
And now it's just like...
Bunch of assholes trying to do it.
And now Sylvester Stallone reads the works of Charles Dickens.
As read by 3 guys doing shitty Sylvester Stallone impressions.
Times for good, times for bad. Man, we haven't done a Stallone in a really long time. We might have to bust that out at some point.
Welcome back to Stallonely Men, the podcast where 3 guys do Stallone impressions.
Stallone.
That's the spinoff.
That's it, yeah.
We're trademarking that.
Because
There's no one else.
There's no other thing you could call that.
Stallonely Men and a baby. That's actually the full idea.
Or we get,
that's the pitch.
or we get a fourth host who's a woman, and then we call it 3 Stallonely Men and a little lady.
Ooh,
bad.
there will be no women as long as 3 men are doing Stallone impressions simultaneously.
And the one woman has to have never seen any Stallone movies ever in her
So,
life.
Kaz, you mentioned at the jump here that we will eventually move on to start talking about Robert De Niro
Okay.
and Jamie Foxx, or one of the two.
Let's talk about Jamie Foxx.
Okay,
because
great.
Jamie Foxx has had a weird fucking career.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he is an Oscar-winning actor for playing Ray Charles, and I feel like doing that set him off on a course that, like, really confused him and fans of his work. It got him off the track that he was on previously, where I'm not trying to say he should have stayed in his lane, because he is a very talented actor. He's great in Ray, he's great in Collateral, he's amazing in that movie.
Jamie Foxx strikes me as the kind of guy who could do like serious dramatic acting or take on a new life as a character actor because he has the talent to do that, but he just loves stand-up and he loves comedy so much and he can't really get away from that, and that's his choice because he loves it so much.
He'd
He's
be
a comedian at heart.
If he climbed down off of his leading man pedestal and became a character actor, he'd probably be incredible at it because, as you say, he comes from like a sketch comedy background. He comes from In Living Color. He comes from his TV show.
And
He's too good. The thing is, he's too charismatic. You bring him in as a character actor, and he just immediately steals the movie for like a second. And then as soon as he's gone, you're like, Paul Rudd still. Like, bring him back.
Bring him back.
That's how charismatic he is. He could do that to Paul Rudd. It doesn't make the movie any good. But, still, while he's in it, you're like, wow, this is true charisma.
Like, I think about, like, his star-making turn as Motherfucker Jones in the Horrible Boss movies. Like, that's a movie where he only has, like, a couple of scenes. But, like, after they leave him, it's just all like, we're kind of back with, like, this middling plot. It kind of would be nice if Jamie Foxx
stuck around for the whole movie because he brings, like, a jolt of energy to everything.
I don't remember who else was in Horrible Bosses.
A bunch of white people and Kevin Spacey.
And, yes, that's right.
But Jamie Foxx, I mean, like,
You should go straight to stealth. Don't even just like the first and only thing he's ever done is stealth.
Okay, so his debut film was
Only
Stealth.
Stealth.
Which is a movie where the plane comes alive.
Honest to God, Stealth is always my like go-to. Hey, just pick a random movie as a joke. Like just name a random joke movie, and I always go to is Stealth.
The thing that's so funny about Stealth is that was the first movie that was released after he won his Oscar.
Oh, no.
But he filmed it before he filmed Ray, and they just kind of sat on it for a while, and then they release it, and it's all like, and Oscar winner Jamie Foxx. And he's like the third lead in that, and he dies midway through the movie. So it's like it was a real like knee-jerk casting decision there. All right, you know what? I'm not even going before that. I'm just going to go straight on from Stealth. And then and then after he wins the Oscar, it's a string of deathly serious movies. He's briefly in Jarhead. He's in Miami Vice, which actually, have you guys seen that?
I've seen Miami Vice.
That movie low-key kind of rules.
Yeah,
honestly.
It's pretty good. I mean, Michael Mann, like, what did you expect? Of course it rules, yeah.
It's amazing that movie is as good as it is when you find out that Jamie Foxx was at the height of his ego and barely showed up on set and like kind of gave 40% on that movie. And to his own reporting, Colin Farrell, his co-star in that movie, says he does not remember filming that movie at all because that was when he was in the midst of his cocaine addiction and his drinking. Like he says, like I just fully it's all like people
use it in the role.
People will tell him in interviews, there's all like I loved Miami Vice, and he'll just be all like, don't remember making it.
I don't recall that one at all.
But then after that, he's in Dreamgirls, which is a successful movie. He kind of has one of the worst parts in that because he plays like the asshole, and everyone else kind of gets to shine a little bit more than him.
Jimmy Thunder early, I'll tell you that.
But because he's an actor, he doesn't have to be an asshole in real life. He can just act being an asshole.
He doesn't have to be an asshole in real life. I think maybe the jury's still out on whether or not he is.
I think
seems like everybody likes Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just like I said. I think he wins every room. Like I said on the way over here, I think he wins every room.
If there's two things we know, it's everybody loves Jamie and everyone hates Chris. So there we go.
Yes.
That's the next show.
I don't know. I think Jamie Foxx is an immensely talented guy with a lot of success, and if whether or not he's like a bit too flashy for folks, I think he's earned that. And he's gotten there by being his authentic self, and he's absolutely entitled to enjoy his amazing life, you know?
Some people simply are very loud.
But we're at this point in Jamie Foxx's career, to jump ahead a little bit. Of course, I'd be remiss to not mention, do you not know he was Electro?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know
Twice.
he was Electro? He was Electro twice.
I forgot.
He was like a dumb blue Electro, and then they brought him back, and it's just all like, are we going to make you blue again? He's all like, no, fuck that shit. I'm not going to. I just look like Jamie Foxx in this one. I'm not going to do that.
Jamie Foxx from Stealth.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx from Stealth.
Oh, wow.
He played a Spider-Man villain twice.
Oh, yeah, no, never mind. I remember that.
So, but we're at this point right now, like, truly what are movies anymore? Because, like, he's starting to make
That's how bad
a
this
bunch
movie
of
is.
stuff with Netflix. He was in this terrible vampire movie called Day Shift.
It's in the horror category. So
It is in the horror category.
sometimes
You're
I'm
not
so
lying about
desperate.
that.
Was
I'll
he in
think
one?
about it.
Was he in one of those really stupid family action comedies where he was like a dad, but he's also a spy?
So that's the movie that he made last year, which is called Back in Action.
Yeah.
Which was more notable for the fact that it was the first movie Cameron Diaz starred in like 12 years
Or
or something.
told me Cameron Diaz was back. You were supposed to tell me.
I tried texting you that the message didn't go through.
This is the whole thing about like what even are movies anymore. Cameron Diaz used to be like a major movie star, and she took like a decade off of appearing in movies. And then she came back last year, and no one knew it happened because it was some garbage Netflix movie that like people watched for like the week that it came out, and now it's gone. It's on Netflix still, but like it truly does not exist anymore. But yes, it was yet another fucking movie where it's like two people are in a relationship, but one of them is like a secret agent or a fucking assassin or whatever bullshit. I think the only thing that makes this one different is that they're both secret agents.
That's not different. That's Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
But they know that they're secret agents, and their kids don't know. But they gotta get that is Spy Kids.
That's Spy Kids.
Yeah, they gotta get back in action.
Yeah. I think isn't there a Spy Kids back in action? I feel like there is.
Spy Kids back in action.
Mr. and Mrs. Spy Kids back in action.
There is.
Mr. and Mrs. Spy Kids.
I'm gonna look that up later. I swear to God, there's a Spy Kids back in action.
Everything he's done in the past 4 or 5 years has been for a streamer. Day Shift, Netflix. They cloned Tyrone, Netflix. Pretty good movie, though.
Yeah, he's great in that, actually. I forgot about that.
The Burial, Amazon Prime. He's in something called Not Another Church Movie.
Oh, no.
Which doesn't look great.
Was there a first church movie? I'm not in the church anymore. I don't know. Did they make it?
It looks like it's a parody of Tyler Perry movies, where Jamie Foxx plays God and Mickey Rourke plays the devil. Could be good. Hey.
Okay.
And then coming up.
You didn't text me that Mickey Rourke was back either.
No,
Mickey Rourke unfortunately never left, and it actually that he.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx is just rolling in that
the streamer money.
Streamer money right now.
Hey, there's definitely some, but he also did like a Netflix TV show that was called something stupid. I have to look it up. It's like.
The Hughleys.
Was it the Hughleys?
It was
the Hughleys back in action.
Wait, Jamie Foxx is D.L. Hughley? This is the other thing whenever I try to look up Jamie Foxx. I never know how to spell his name.
It's,
2 X's, right? Yeah.
You guys.
Often I wonder if maybe I should take the reins with some of these researches. Anything you want me to assist you with on this cast? Or...
How many X's in Fox?
I will never know.
Okay, here's what.
Nobody knows that.
Here's what it is. Netflix must have gave him like a giant fucking check because he's made so many Netflix things, including 8 episodes of a TV show that's called Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me.
Whoa, that's a terrible title.
This is a real show that exists that people can look at.
That's a brutal fucking title.
There's no comma between Dad and Stop. It's just called Dad, Stop Embarrassing Me.
There's too many fonts on that poster.
I don't understand.
It is called too many fonts. That is true, yes. The tagline, all's good in the fatherhood.
That's supposed to have an exclamation point.
So-
like, Dad, exclamation point.
Yeah.
So
Stop embarrassing me,
Or Dad,
exclamation mark.
You know, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yes.
So it's like, Dad, comma, stop. You can't just do that. You can't just abandon punctuation. Netflix has ruined film. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll get no argument from me here, yeah. So, coming up for Jamie Foxx, he's been threatening for the past couple of years to play Spawn in a new movie that apparently is going to be directed by Todd McFarlane himself. They've been trying to get this off the ground, and they can't.
The Family Guy?
Yes. Seth MacFarlane's Spawn.
Man.
And it's just like, he's like, remember the time I killed that guy with my chain arms?
Fucking feels like for the last 20 years, they keep bringing up through the news cycle that they're going to reboot Spawn. It never happens.
Why?
Trying to make Spawn
the
happen.
97 movie was perfect.
I know, right?
Just leave it as it is. It's a perfect cultural
yeah,
object.
maybe just do like an up-res version of that movie.
And hey, he already has...
Change none of the special effects.
If they do Spawn again, we know he has John Leguizamo's number, so just get him back. No one else can play clown. Also, he has a bunch of stuff that will like always perennially be in production as the next thing he's doing, one of which is a movie that he directed. His directorial debut. It's a movie called All-Star Weekend, which, for all intents and purposes, is done. It is a finished movie that he finished several years ago, but according to public record, will never be released because it is awful. And when
That's never stopped Hollywood before.
it has all of
But
these
if he
things.
wins another Oscar,
Yeah,
then
no choice.
right after the day after.
No choice.
It has all of these things going against it, where essentially it is a buddy comedy between Jamie Foxx and the deeply canceled Jeremy Piven.
Oh no!
So that doesn't help.
You didn't tell me Piven was back.
No,
He's not. They can't release the movie.
I'm 0 for 3 and keeping you in the
supposed to
loop.
warn me.
Piven is definitely not back.
I told you 3 things.
I would say one of the main reasons why they probably can't release this movie is that if you look down the cast list, Jamie Foxx's former co-star and buddy Robert Downey Jr. is in this movie, and he's playing a character simply called A Mexican Man.
Oh no!
So he's doing the Tropic Thunder thing again, but without the meta,
layers.
without the meta narrative to it, where it's all like
and
the irony or whatever. He's just playing a different race.
Wow.
And it's kind of like, look, if this movie exists, maybe release it so we can all just point and laugh at it.
Yeah.
No,
but
'cause
maybe
if he does it a second time, then it retroactively makes the first one unfunny too.
Yes.
So you can't release All Star Weekend, or it will kill Tropic Thunder. You can't.
yeah, you know what? I'd be fine with killing Tropic Thunder.
What?
Yeah,
I watched that
yeah.
movie once. It's fine. We can maybe move on from that.
All right.
But yeah, that's Jamie Foxx. I'm sure Scott Eastwood has some bullshit in the pipeline. He
I wouldn't be
he
surprised.
supposedly will be in the next/last Fast and the Furious movie, if that ever fucking comes out.
Well, my heart started pounding. I thought you were gonna say Dune. I was like, oh, don't tell me he's in Dune 3.
He's one of the sandworms.
Oh,
I thought the last Fast and the Furious was supposed to be the last Fast and the Furious.
It was,
hope
and
it's
then
never
and then
less.
Vin Diesel was all like, "No, we're gonna make it a 2-parter," and
family.
it ends on a massive cliffhanger where Dom seemingly meets his fate, and now Vin Diesel has pissed off everyone in Hollywood, and they cannot get so the Fast and the Furious saga may end with
A massive cliffhanger.
with Vin Diesel just dying. It's just like that's the canonical ending. He just died, which would be hilarious. I would actually kind of love that. Yeah, and then Robert De Niro is Robert De Niro. I don't know how much time we have to talk about.
No.
Goodfellas,
Goodfellas, Casino,
one of the
Godfather.
most famous actors in the world.
Yeah.
Robert De Niro from Stealth.
No, that's the end of that joke. You can't go any further.
Robert De
What
Niro.
is-
Like, he's a living legend. He's been in some of the greatest movies ever made, like Heat and...
What? Therein lies the question. What is Robert De Niro's stealth?
Bad Grandpa.
Has nose. Oh yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah.
Nobody
he-
knew that was him.
I think I have to correct you. I believe he was Dirty Grandpa.
Oh, I stand wildly corrected.
Bad Grandpa is Johnny Knoxville. That's
Bad
the Jackass
Grandpa
movie.
is
but
Billy Bob Thornton,
Dirty Grandpa.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that movie. It's not that funny. I know, a shocker. I desperately wanted his character name to just be Dirty Grandpa. and then every time, and then he just like has a cigar in his mouth, and he's like walking through a water park, and everyone's like, "Dirty Grandpa." And it's,
Now, look, De Niro's been in like so many fucking goddamn movies that like, yeah, he's probably got like way more shitty schlock movies than either Jamie Foxx or Scott Eastwood combined.
The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle's Robert De Niro.
There you go.
I want Dirty Grandpa, freeze frame of him with his hands up, and then slide whistle. Just
Yeah.
that's how every scene transitions.
Honestly,
to the
could have been
next.
an A+ movie if they had just done that. If they just taken my copious notes. Look, the thing is
Where'd you
that
mail them?
to Mr. Universal,
That's what I do.
care of the Warner Brothers. They'd get
They
it.
get
to
it.
them.
They get that.
They got it.
They read everything.
Robert De Niro has been making these straight to streaming, straight to DVD garbage things for about a decade now. He's kind of quietly been doing it. Like it's not as like sad as like the Nicolas Cages or the
Bruce Willis's.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nothing could be sadder than the Bruce Willis thing. That's the saddest one that is.
I went there.
But the thing is that like he'll do this. He'll just release these movies that don't exist to streamers or whatever. But then like every 5 years or so, he'll do like Killers of the Flower Moon or The Irishman, and everyone's
And
just
so,
all like
so long as Scorsese's still kicking, he'll be in a good movie
but
every couple of years.
Every couple of years, he'll be in a Scorsese movie, and we'll all be reminded, oh, that's right, Robert De Niro is an exceptionally good actor.
Yeah.
So he kind of gets a free pass for life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And-
So long as he plays within his age range and not, That's an earlier version of his
Yes.
character from The Irishman. Do I need to beat the fucking dead horse about seeing an old man?
No, not at all. Everyone agrees with you. Everyone agrees.
Trying to
that's
act like a
super
man
weird.
like fucking 40 years younger
Look,
than he
here's
was.
the thing. Here's the thing I'll say about that. That movie is 4 hours long, and the old age, young age Robert De Niro stuff is truly so bad. But that movie is so long, and so much of it is really good that it kind of cancels out how terrible that is.
Look, and I'll say this much, like, I agree largely with Marty Scorsese says about, like, how, Marvel movies are just like a fucking theme park ride, really no good substance to them. But at least the Marvel movies kind of know how to shoot the de-age technology.
Oh yeah, they put all the money into that.
Yeah.
And you do what exactly.
Yeah.
You get an entire movie where bordering on 80-year-old Samuel L. Jackson is playing a younger version of himself, and it completely works.
Like, you can't really tell the difference. Yeah, it's the spit and image.
The movie kind of sucks, but he looks great.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off. Either you make a masterpiece or the de-aging.
The de-aging
You can't have both.
holds up, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Robert
right.
De Niro. Thoughts? Pretty good, right?
Yeah, he was barely in this movie.
Yeah.
He really isn't.
I actually still am not even that clear what his role was.
I'm actually
other
not
than
certain
to
he
just-
maybe was in this movie. I think maybe we just collectively all...
I'm happy to memory hole.
Yeah. I'm sure he would be delighted to hear that.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I realize we can't because he's in the one scene in this movie that
Where Scott
We
Eastwood
will
is trying
need to
people
talk
will be talking
about. We
about
will
for
need
years
to
to
talk
come.
about.
It actually kind of is the scene of the movie. I'm not gonna lie.
the only scene in the movie.
Yeah, the movie is 4 minutes long, and it's just Scott Eastwood and Robert De Niro in a bathroom, and you end up feeling really sorry for Robert De Niro.
It's like 70 minutes of Scott Eastwood just blinking and refusing to act. And then like this 1 minute where he acts so hard, and then
Does he?
Well, he as hard as he can.
Yeah.
Not him, that's
he doesn't.
so
He
hard.
doesn't act good, but you have to admit he's acting hard.
He's acting a
Yeah.
lot.
He's a hard actor.
It's
There's a
the most
quantity.
acting he's done in this movie
Most
so far.
actor is what I'm gonna give him
Yeah.
for that scene.
Well, shall we finally talk
Yes.
about Tin Soldier? All right, we'll take a little break, and when we come back, we will get into this absolute...
We'll get into the tin of Tin Soldier.
I couldn't have said it any better than myself. We'll scale them out. Absolutely should have been recording
Okay.
that. Can you guys give me that just one more time?
What?
Make it natural.
The thirsty boy thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I was a thirsty boy.
Yeah, you were thirsty. You were a thirsty boy.
Oh, God, I can tell it's fake. I can tell we're faking it.
Oh, can you?
There's two
Scott
things I can
Eastwood,
tell are fake. It's orgasms and when people are thirsty boys. And that Venn diagram crosses over much more than you would assume.
This may as well be an outtake in a Pixar movie. That's how fake it is.
Yeah, so none of this should stay in, right?
No,
Or maybe
no.
it should. Maybe it should.
Well-
No, keep this in, and then also make sure that you cut out everything from the first half, except for when I correctly said Jaeger. Right? We want that
Sure,
to
yeah.
stay.
I'll put an echo on it too.
Jaeger, yeah.
And then also isolate it and then put it in right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Out of context. Just make sure you keep it in there so everybody.
Random Jaeger, gotcha.
Tin Soldier. With or without the dealer's choice. Written and directed.
If you're nasty.
The Tin Soldier. Yeah. Written and directed by Brad Furman, who I realized after I selected this for the podcast, Harrison, directed a movie that you and I have seen in the movie theater together. He directed a movie called The Infiltrator with Bryan Cranston. Do you remember this?
No.
Bryan Cranston is like an undercover FBI agent who infiltrates like a drug cartel, and he has to like bring it down from the inside.
What?
You and I saw this movie together.
No.
We did, because there was a period where we were just going to see fucking whatever, and this was the movie that was playing that particular
Wow.
week.
Yeah, I must have been so high.
Oh, we definitely smoked up before we went to see it.
I don't remember that.
It's also a drug cartel movie where they absolutely 100% have a montage set to the song Pusher Man.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a
I
law.
remember that.
There we go.
No way.
That's it.
I have an incredible seg. I'm going to do this. I can do this.
can.
Bushman is a Curtis Mayfield song, and in this movie, inexplicably, Jamie Foxx sings "Don't Worry, If There's Hell Below, We're All Gonna Go," which is also a Curtis Mayfield
So
song.
clearly this director loves Curtis Mayfield and will put him in his movie at the drop of a hat.
Oh my God! Yes. A point in favor of Brad Furman. So now he's,
Well, Curtis Mayfield, you seem to have won the evening.
And he's directed a bunch of other movies like Runner with Justin Timberlake.
betcha there's a Curtis Mayfield
Probably
song.
a Curtis Mayfield drop. His big success movie is he directed The Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh,
The
that's a
Lincoln
great
Lawyer.
movie.
Which
That's fun,
which many people credit as like the beginning of the McConaissance. That was the movie that was sort of all like, hey, maybe McConaughey is good now.
Yeah.
Lincoln
Actually.
Lawyer. What a show. I'm thinking of the show. which
It's
is
also a show. It's
which is
also-
also quite good. It's watchable in the same weird way. Like
It has a good hook.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer, and his office is a car,
He just rides around in a Lincoln.
and his
then-
bed is a race car. Everything is a car.
I sleep in a big bed with my wife.
Yeah.
He also clearly is very good friends with John Leguizamo because John Leguizamo is in most of the movies he directs, including The Infiltrator, the
Probably
movie
his
that we
roommate.
you don't remember that we
I
watched.
don't recall.
But yes, and John Leguizamo also apparently said yes to him. At first, I thought it was a little rude that he didn't end up as one of the four names above the title because he's John Leguizamo and he's second billed in the end credits. After watching the movie, I had the feeling that he went to his buddy Brad Furman and said, "It's okay, you can leave me off the poster for
maybe
this. Maybe just
So wait.
take me off the cover
Cut
here."
me down.
So wait, so the start of the movie's credits have this listed as Tin Soldier, but the end credits call it The Tin Soldier.
No, the
beginning.
opening calls
Whatever.
it The Tin Soldier.
And John Leguizamo is not in the opening credits, but he's in the end credits. Who the fuck is supervising the credits of this movie? Because they
people.
fucked up. I marked in the opening that there were like 7 different production companies, and no one fucking noticed this.
Including one called Current Media.
Yeah.
It's like the thing you're watching. Which is,
That's a pretty good one, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Tin Soldier opens up with Jamie Foxx's cult leader, the Bakushi.
Yeah,
And boy, get ready to hear that word said over and over again over the course of
What
this
is that?
movie.
What does that mean? Is that a real word, or is that something he just made up for himself?
Looking it up right now.
Oh, okay. But yeah, Jamie Foxx plays like this former soldier who served in the military, came back with PTSD, didn't like how his life was going, so he decided to start this program known as The Program,
good
which
name.
is
Current Media. That's what
yeah,
they do at Current
it was
Media.
previously sanctioned by the U.S. military as like this new treatment for returning soldiers suffering from PTSD. But what he is actually doing is he's starting a fucking cult right under the nose of the U.S. military.
I feel like the military should have picked it up when he had no methods other than just getting on stage and doing his vaudeville act. Like just up there tap dancing
And
for an hour.
what
like,
are the
cured.
what are the names of the members in the cult?
Oh, the Shinzas?
Whoa,
The
whoa, hey.
Shinjas.
That is our word.
Oh.
This is a podcast. I don't know if that joke works.
I don't know. I just thought it was like ninjas, but they only fight primarily with their shins.
He says it like the N-word all throughout.
Yes!
He
Yeah.
does. And
He
he'll
does.
just be like, what's up, my shin?
I'm pretty sure he calls Scott Eastwood my shindig
He
at
does.
one
he
point
does.
in time.
He does. He says it all. He says it like it's jazz. All right. So it's very strange.
It's about the words he doesn't say.
It's a very strange program.
Okay, so I'm a pretty anti-AI type of guy, but every once in a while, AI Overview will give me an answer to a question that does make me smile.
Okay.
So according to AI Overview, Bakushi is a Japanese name that means pastor or Protestant minister, but it also refers to the villainous cult leader played by Jamie Foxx in the 2025. Thank you, AI Overview. That made me laugh very hard.
So Bakushi means Bakushi.
Yeah.
means
Look,
Bakushi.
this cult is vaguely Asian inspired. Not really. I guess like I guess by the knowledge that bakushi is a Japanese word, it's like Japanese inspired, but it kind of feels like he's cherry picking from all different nationalities and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, certainly with Jamie Foxx running it, it seems black as fuck. And so bakushi doesn't really make much sense as a name for this thing.
Does it seem black as fuck? Because how many black members, how many black Shinjas?
He's the whole thing.
There was like a couple of background people I noticed a couple of times, but yeah, it's mostly white people.
He got up and did a Curtis Mayfield deep cut, and the whole crowd was eating it up.
Look, if you had not been there watching the movie with me, I would have assumed that was an original song that Jamie Foxx wrote.
Yeah, that Scott Eastwood wrote for the movie.
Because what are the lyrics? Because the
the
first lyrics are the brothers and the whiteys, the blacks and the crackers. Which I'm like, I didn't know that was a Curtis Mayfield song, but it's just all like, it's funny.
Yeah, it's all right.
After this, I'm gonna put it on for you, and you're gonna hear what the first lyrics actually.
I just heard,
and then you'll be indoctrinated into the program.
And I'm gonna be listening to it. I'm listening to it. I'm all like, you know what? Jamie Foxx did it better. How about that?
They cut out the first word of the song. Let me tell you, it's Shinjas actually.
Is it a word that Jameson and I cannot say on this podcast?
Yes, it is.
S word.
Yeah.
So we see the Bakushi's opening message here, but notably, we don't actually see what the message is. It's just like a lot of him setting up for the camera, deciding whether or not he should wear his sunglasses inside or whatever.
Joking around with the people behind the camera, with the crew.
And then eventually it builds up to him just going like, God damn it, let's just shoot the thing, which I don't feel was scripted. I feel like that was just Jamie Foxx on the day.
Yeah.
Just fucking, let's get it over with.
You like that? All right, good. Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to sell it. As a matter of fact, even if these cameras weren't on, they'd feel it.
Do you prefer to be filmed with or without the glasses?
Of course, without the glasses. They need to see my eyes. I'm sincere about this. Could we please? God damn it! Let's just shoot it! All this back and forth. I got things to do. Brad, we good?
I got places to be. I'm busy.
I have like 3 terrible shows to pitch to Netflix later today. Come on.
Yeah, I gotta be on the set of Don't Embarrass Me, Dad. So yeah,
I believe you mean Dad.
Whatever.
Comma. Stop embarrassing me.
Don't correct my punctuation, Dad.
That's the spinoff.
Yeah. So yeah, his whole thing is just that like the U.S. military, they use the soldiers. They're not taking care of them. You know, very valid points to it all around.
But he's capitalizing on it.
He's capitalizing on it to amass a group of followers. And, you know, like PTSD, obviously, like a very serious subject that leaves many infantry people devastated. And
this movie treats that very sensitively and with like a lot of care. And
it's treating them that like, you know what? Suck it up. Because we need you to like be boots on the ground soldiers for my cult army. And they're fine with it. And he's building up this army of people who are suffering from PTSD. This should not work.
And it's like, all of his like cult messaging and stuff is just like very like simple platitudes or whatever, where it's all like, you gotta get up in the morning, you gotta find like the truth within yourself to know that it's all like, PTSD is a choice and you can be fine if you're totally cool.
Yeah,
and then he says,
no, you don't.
He says this 1 minute and then the next minute he's like flying headbutting people and beating the shit out of them and doing insane things like almost driving a truck off a cliff and like submerging people in water. There's one scene where like he's giving a speech to all of the Shinjas and in the background a guy is just being held underwater in a tank. And the way that scene cuts, we don't ever actually find out what happened to the guy. He might have just been like floating dead in the background and we'll never know.
It's a jigsaw way of solving all of your problems in life. Is like, well, here's a death trap for you. And unless you want it enough, you're going to die.
Well, no, they make an artful cut to a woman underwater after that. Like, it's like right after that, they do this kind of like, it's just like an image. And as soon as it happened, I thought, like, right, he's trying to do a poetic image, except that you forgot that your last image was you drowning a man. So now it just looks like you forgot who was underwater.
Now it looks like a bad edit.
You have to resolve that before you do the scene setting.
Brad Furman thought he was doing something so fucking artistic and fucking just like hoity-toity, and it pissed me off so much, man. This movie just has such an inflated ego about itself, man. It really thinks it's saying something.
The way that it slips in all these hallucinations and dream sequences kind of throw me through a loop for a little bit. And like there were a few moments where I thought like, oh, well, that's somewhat interesting visually, I guess. I could mistake this for being well directed, but the fact that there's no consistency to everything, it takes me out of the movie every fucking time.
You could mistake.
And like it's old school in camera tricks where there's like body doubles and like a background kind of like is enveloped around
they
people.
just smeared like a ring of Vaseline on like the camera lens
Yeah.
or whatever.
So I don't know. It happens a lot.
Yes.
It's noticeable enough in the movie where it kind of jars me into like paying a little bit more attention.
Well, it's
but
like-
other than that, it's artsy fartsy and it's pretentious as fuck.
You mentioned that it was inconsistent, and yeah, that's the biggest fucking problem, because this movie tries to establish the fact that every time Scott Eastwood either has a PTSD moment or he has a flashback that reminds him of something that happened to his tragic wife or whatever, the camera gets all blurry and it starts it's more hazy.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, and it starts moving around and doing like interesting things.
Terrence
with, like,
Malick
lens or
with the
whatever,
way it
stuff like that.
closes in on
But
people.
as the film goes on, it keeps doing that, and we're just sitting there and we're just going, "Oh, like this is actually happening, though. He's not." He's not remembering shit right now. This is currently happening to Scott Eastwood. So it completely throws the convention out the window as the film goes on.
I think they're trying to imply that he just has a headache or something. It's like, this is present day. It should be clear, but he has a headache.
Hey, like to that point though,
Migraine.
there's an issue with this on how they also depict the past and the present.
Yes.
Because Scott Eastwood's got a short haircut and a 5 o'clock shadow
Scott
in
Eastwood
the present.
has a lot of looks in this movie.
Yeah.
None of them are good.
But the two that we go back to the most are like the present moment and like his flashback times when he was a part of this cult,
And
where
yeah.
like he looks exactly the same, and because they're going undercover into the compound, he's dressed the exact same way. So there are moments where like I don't know if we are still in the present or if we're looking in the past, and it's only when I see who he's interacting with do I know. Like,
Well, I noticed, because did you not notice that Scott Eastwood has one of the worst dye jobs I've ever seen in the past? Like he looks like he's Eminem in the past. He has noticeably different colored hair.
no, I didn't pick
in
up
the
on
past.
that. No.
Yeah, you can tell because there's a Slim Shady filter on the other stuff, the early stuff.
That's actually the technical term that they use for
Put a Slim Shady filter on it, and it will obviously star wipe from scene to scene.
So thankfully, this movie actually opens with John Leguizamo, who thankfully sticks around for this entire movie. During this opening thing, he's driving a truck into Jamie Foxx's compound. He has made contact with one of Jamie Foxx's members, one of their cult members,
Like a defector who's on the inside.
And I guess he's going in and he's bringing in like a bunch of a special ops team who's going to go in and they're going to capture or kill Jamie Foxx. And I was dead certain that we were going to have John Leguizamo for just like this one scene and he was going to meet his maker or whatever. But thankfully he sticks around for the entire movie.
But how does that character's story end? Doesn't he just leave the movie midway?
And then he's on a helicopter at the very end.
Okay.
He saves Scott Eastwood from the water at the very end.
Okay.
But he does disappear right before the third act happens.
Right.
But yeah,
It's a Tyler Durden situation with him, actually. All those scenes are... That's why they had the hazy. It's just... Just imagine.
What is anything? This is the thing. Is like if you throw haze up, it's all like no, it was all a dream.
You can get
None
away
of
with
it
anything.
was real.
You can get away with anything and call it a dream sequence. That's a director's shortcut for you.
So this lady, this Shinja mom, I think they have like their own term.
Mama Suki.
Mama Suki. This Mama Suki.
Right.
Because the ladies are called Mama Sukis, and I guess the men are brother Shinjas.
Yeah, she's trying to exfiltrate all of the kids that are born into this cult compound, because presumably this thing would have been going on for fucking years.
From an area of the compound that we later learn is called the Hatchery.
The hatchery.
The hatchery. Yeah, the kids were like 12.
Yeah.
Like, this has been going on a really long time.
Thank God for the hatchery.
They still hired no staff.
He has cult members. He doesn't need staff.
He has cult members.
Everyone
but
works
they're not
together.
doing anything for him. He's just on stage by himself. No one's running the lighting. It's just happening.
Well,
no, he does. He has the drummers. He has.
Yeah, he has.
Clearly
We'll get to the drummers.
I want to talk for like 20 minutes about the drummers. We're going to get there.
We got to get to the drummers.
But so John Leguizamo is here. He's brought in all of like these army guys who have stormed the compound. They get trapped in a meat freezer and then they get gassed.
Yep.
So all of John Leguizamo's men get ganked. But unbeknownst to John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo seems surprised when he looks in the back of his truck and there's like 30 Shinja kids back there. I don't think that was part of the plan. I think Momosuke sort of did that on her own because she wanted to get the kids out of there.
Somehow, the Bakushi figures out that this plan is going on. We never.
Bakushi knows all. The Bakushi can see everything.
Yeah, he's always just assuming that these things are going to happen, and he's right. The people are trying to storm his compound and take him down. So yeah, he kills all the soldier guys. And I guess the Momosuke's plan is just, okay, plan B, all you kids get on the truck, and John Leguizamo's going to get scared, and he's going to drive out of the compound, and now you kids are safe on the outside. Yeah.
There is a massive explosion. Did you clock what exploded? Because both Harrison and I missed this entirely. Yeah. There's like a moment where like John Leguizamo is looking through the back of his truck, and he sees all of the kids, and then there's a massive explosion, and I thought, oh wow, they blew up all the kids. But then John Leguizamo is fine and all the kids are fine and he drives out of there.
Was it all the soldiers that get into the meat locker and then they're gassed and then someone just like lights ignites the gas? Oh,
later.
Fuck.
Yeah, that explosion
I have no
sense.
I don't know. Something explodes. John Leguizamo goes flying, but he survives.
Wait, no. He's leaving the compound and then he runs into a kid that hangs himself.
Well, no, he runs into Momosuke.
That's the Momosuke.
He runs into Momosuke, who was hung as like a thing. But like how they got her that far out of the compound so she could drop down in front of John Leguizamo's truck at the perfect moment, I do not know.
That's the power of the Belushi or whatever.
The Belushi. But it's never the Belushi you want, unfortunately.
Do we give up when the Germans bomb Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
So 5 minutes into this movie, there's already multiple questions about what's going on. There's an unexplained explosion that has no bearing on anything. And
all these kids are in the back of... That's a better movie, by the way. John
Leguizamo with all these kids.
30 kids. And I just want to say that...
Just taking them out for ice cream?
When he notices they're back there, like as a dad, I don't want to do this more than one time, but you're going to know if there's 30 kids in the back of your fucking car. You're going to know.
Well, these are some quiet fucking kids.
You're going to know.
Talking about PTSD, these kids probably were raised in like a situation where it's all like it's better to be seen and not heard.
Yeah, the hatchery has made some quiet kids. Yes.
And then we finally meet the hero of our.
You can rest easy, folks. We meet
Scott Eastwood's finally here. Nash Kavanaugh.
That's his name. I had no idea his character had a name. I really had no idea.
Harrison, we watched the movie together and subtitles were on. They say his name multiple times.
I didn't know. It really just never registered with me that he had a name.
So
I mean, we're going to be referring to him as Scott Eastwood the entire time because that's how we do things here. But yes.
So
for the record, he is Nash Kavanaugh. Or Shinja Nash.
Former Shinja Nash.
Yes.
He defected. He managed to get away, and in the process, he had a wife that he met on the inside there, but she died as they were escaping. And now he's like free to live on the outside, and he's just like this wastrel shell of a man.
And you know he's fallen on hard times because he's got a big old beard and his hair is really long.
That's right.
And he goes to I don't want to steal your line, Harrison, but he goes to a bar and you know he's on downtrodden times when he orders a drink of brown liquid.
Yeah,
that's how you know. That's how you know he's not doing good when he just
alcohol,
drinks
the worst way you can get it.
And he orders it by just holding a finger up, and the bartender immediately knows what he wants.
Oh, I understand. This is that sad man who only wants the saddest liquor.
He wants the brown liquor.
Yeah. So, but who should also be at this bar? But Robert De Niro.
Now, I don't know if you knew this, but Robert De Niro also has a character name.
Oh,
I assume most actors in movies have character names.
Except for maybe the girlfriend or the wife. Well, they didn't get married. They were just she was like the only woman in the program.
Yeah, what was her name? Like Evoli?
Evelio?
I think Emilio?
I think Evely.
Evely, yeah. It's
Evely?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure? I remember that because A, we just watched the movie. It just happened. And also B, Scott Eastwood screams her name.
I know.
To the heavens.
Yeah.
It didn't register as a real name because it's such a nonsense.
It's a very nonsense name.
It's not nonsense. It's French.
Emily.
Well.
Yeah, I mean, that's not.
So
let's not disparage the
Yeah, so somehow being like a member of the U.S. Army, he goes into this PTSD program / cult, and he meets a French military woman.
Beg's the only woman in the program.
Beg's the only woman in the program.
Doesn't have
This
to
is a
fight
big-
any other
And also the
men
only
or-
fucking French member of the U.S. military.
This is a big assumption because we never find out anything about this character. We
Yeah.
don't know what her backstory is. We just know that she is in the cult,
She's the woman
and she's like deep
of the
into the
film.
cult. And she's
She's
almost,
been there longer than he has.
She almost feels like Jamie Foxx's like number 2
Yeah,
to a
is
certain
he-
degree, but that's largely only because there's kind of a dearth of characters in this.
Yeah.
My sense was that she's his administrative assistant. Sure. Right? Like, that he obviously
Just say
has...
secretary, Harrison.
No,
Come on,
no,
heads
it's
up.
much more important than that. She's doing a lot more work on the ground, and she's filing expense reports and hiring the no staff.
But whenever Jamie Foxx is
Training the
trying to hiring the drummers, you gotta
installing the sound
you
systems
gotta
that
oil
Steve
those
described
drums,
before.
absolutely.
We gotta hold off on talking about the drummers.
But whenever Jamie Foxx is talking to the cult or whatever, and he's all like, I want to show you an example. Get someone volunteer to get punched in the face. She's always the first one to step forward.
yeah.
So it seems like she's pretty indoctrinated
Yeah.
in his beliefs or whatever.
Yeah.
She
And
must
only
have-
the love of Scott Eastwood can make her realize what a mistake she's made.
She must have somehow commissioned the track for him to sing "If There's Hell Below, We All Gotta Go." Because again, that wasn't the original song. That wasn't a karaoke track. No, somebody else recorded the backing track so that he could get up there and do that performance. So I think she's all the musicians.
Well, not someone. That was sanctioned by the U.S. military.
Oh, right.
They
I
signed.
forgot
They
that-
signed off on that,
That was
early in the
military
program.
band.
So Robert De Niro, playing the character of Emmanuel Ashburn, is a shady government man who knows who Scott Eastwood is, and he knows his entire backstory. And conveniently, there's a news story about the Bakushi going on the TV right when he happens to be there. So he's all like, "Hey, your old buddy the Bakushi, you should here's my card." I don't remember if he gives him a card, but it's a real here's my card type situation or whatever. And Scott Eastwood's like, not interested, and he walks out.
I want you to go back into the compound, and what they do is they rope Scott Eastwood into doing it because they bring back his old buddy John Leguizamo, and he says, "Hey, there's more to the story. I got a truck full of kids, and one of them says that it has mentioned you by name, and I have a letter that is written by your wife, who you believe to be dead." And
he goes to see this one little girl that's been
Like the swimming pool by the Ramada Inn, right? That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they mean.
that's where the casting crew was.
She's just hanging out at the
Yeah.
pool at the motel next door. Not swimming. She just
No,
wants to
and
talk
she
to
yes, and she has a handwritten letter to Scott Eastwood that is in his dead wife's handwriting, and has this symbol,
An Enzo.
an Enzo that I'm going to assume is a Japanese thing. That was their thing. That's a secret
our
little
special
private
symbol.
thing. He also has a tattoo of it, so he looks at it and is all like,
only one person could have written
is
this.
my wife still alive? And we find out that his wife died in an accident that was apparently his fault. He was driving and they went over a cliff, and he was in
his fault.
he was in a
It
coma.
was.
He was in a coma for 2 days, and when he woke up, police told him that she drowned in the river, and they never found her body.
Yeah.
And he just assumed that she was dead, but
But
maybe not.
Perhaps the cult picked her up and left him for dead.
And then, of course, when we see this happen, when we see this flashback happen much later in the movie, they're escaping the cult together, and they're driving down the road, and this car comes out of nowhere and just rear ends them, and it's just all like, I thought you said this was your fault. This very clearly was not your fault, Scott
Are we
Eastwood.
talking about that yet? Or
Yeah,
should I wait
let's talk.
until-
No, let's talk about it now.
Okay. So first of all, here's why it is 100% his fault. Okay?
Because if he didn't want to leave and have a marriage with her, then she wouldn't be dead.
No, it's not that. It's that he gets hit from behind, and it causes his car to flip all the way over.
Onto the side, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Somehow he is able to right this car.
In another shot that they didn't
and then
shoot.
Step on the gas so that it goes
Clears that fucking cliff.
way up. Okay, and the wheels of this car never stop spinning. So that means because it's going upside down into the water in slow motion, and so you watch the tires still spinning. So that means that even upside down, knowing he's about to hit the water, he's still got his foot on the gas.
So like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna get it.
Up. I'm trying to go up.
He like opens the side door to like counterweight it and just he's on 2 wheels and it's like, yes, we're back.
Now, okay, playing devil's advocate here for a moment. I have not seen a ton of cars drive off of cliffs in real life outside of movies. Would not like the centrifugal force of of gravity, would that not make the wheels spin on their own?
Well, yeah, but that also wouldn't shoot you up into the air off the
No, I agree with you that that's
I'm just
bullshit,
saying, like,
but
it's like the wheels are going there and they just don't stop going.
No.
So, and it just seems pretty likely to me that his foot is on the gas the whole
Sure.
time. And that rather than going like full speed off this cliff, he's probably going to go like,
Sure.
careening over the side because he's at some point going to step on the
No,
brakes.
I agree with you. It's
At some
completely
point, the brakes-
stupid because we do see the car flip over and then it is like scraping along the asphalt on its side, and then we cut to the wide shot of the cliff and the car is completely right side up again because it's obviously like a stunt driver or whatever, and now it's just driving off of the cliff.
Yeah.
So somehow it got back up on its 4 wheels again. No, that is very dumb. I agree
Still
with
driving
you.
it underwater
Yeah.
because it gets past them somehow, when he's reaching for her. And
Also, this movie is blessedly short. It's not even an hour and a half. But we find out early from Scott Eastwood's all like, yeah, my wife died in a car crash. It was my fault. I blame myself for it or whatever. They show the car crash in its entirety. And, like, they linger on, like, them in the water, and he's trying to grab his wife, and he can't quite grab her or whatever, and it's all like, this is all information we already know. We don't need to actually see any of this.
Well, it's the old adage, show, don't tell. But they
did both.
They did both in the wrong order.
tell a bunch and then show.
And then show it.
Tell again.
So now Scott Eastwood wants to join Robert De Niro's little gang, so he goes and
His squad.
his squad, his little team.
Yeah.
And so now
It's John Leguizamo. It's some guy with gray hair and another guy there.
we gotta talk about the other guy because the other guy, the other guy is the character's name is Jackson.
Yeah.
the
and-
guy who doesn't talk until the scene where he's got the gun pulled and the gasoline.
Well,
is
he
raining.
has 2 notable things about him. One, he's immediately antagonistic to Scott Eastwood. I completely understand why, because he is Scott
He
Eastwood.
shouldn't be in this movie.
But he should be a fucking professional and realize that, like, no, this is part of the job. We need someone on the inside for this. And also, don't get fucking pissed off at this guy for having PTSD. He's
Especially when you're on the mission.
You're on
When
a mission
in the
to-
middle of the mission.
You're on the mission together, and he's supposed to have your back. Don't call him a fucking psycho to his face. Don't blame him for, like, getting out of a cult.
That's just bad teamwork.
But
That's bad teamwork.
the other weird character trait I noted about this character is that both of his ears are fucked up. Did you not notice that?
No.
He has like
That's a different guy, I
He
think,
has
though, right?
no. This is the guy.
Okay, yeah.
He has like weird, fucked up, scarred ears.
like cauliflower ears, like a boxer?
At
No,
first,
they're-
I thought
they're,
it was,
like,
no,
super
they're like
scarred from-
burned. They're like
Oh.
fully like he has like burn scarring on his face. I looked up this actor. His ears are fine. He has normal
yeah,
ears.
those are supposed to be
So
like in character.
these are
for
like
him.
character ears, but no one ever references them.
That's what his
He
PTSD
just
is
it's
about.
it's just all like here's your gun, here's like your character thing, here's your fake ears, and it's just like, wait, what was that last thing you said? It's all like, yeah, you're gonna have fucked up ears in every scene that you're in. Are we ever gonna address this? No, you're barely a character.
You know?
Yeah, no, his headphones caught on fire. That's what happened.
He got really cheap. He
they
got
just-
black market beats,
You
and
have to have seen the
they
related
set on
film.
fire.
This guy's headphones caught on fire. That's the name of it. It's actually Dad. Stop letting my headphones.
So yeah, this 4-man team goes in, and they're trying to storm the compound, the program's compound. The FBI is already there.
They've surrounded the compound, and they're led by this one guy, this one super angry guy, who's like already pissed off at Robert De Niro for like being late or something like that.
Being late.
for his team being late or whatever. Yeah.
In general, he's always late.
He's always thinking, he's all like, give me a break. I had to star in 3 other movies that no one has ever heard of.
This actor is walking around with crutches, which I thought like, oh, okay, well that's just like, some action that we didn't see. There was a firefight that happened before the instances of this scene. I looked up on IMDb. Apparently, that guy actually did suffer like an ankle injury or something, either
okay.
on set or like days before filming. And so, according to IMDb, they rewrote the scene to incorporate his crutches, and they allowed actors to ad-lib things about him having a limp.
That's interesting. Talk about something I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that he was on crutches.
But it's funny that you say that, like, oh yeah, the one guy's got really fucked up ears, and then
No
like,
mention of the crutches, huh?
no
Kev?
mention
Are
of the
you crutch blind?
Are you
Is that what
ableist?
this
You know
is?
what? I'm
yeah,
actually
that's what the
no.
term is.
I'm the opposite of ableist. I'm so not ableist. I don't even notice when people are handicapable. That's the thing. I
I'm
don't
not
see.
crutch blind. You're crutch blind.
Okay, so they storm the fucking compound, and that's where like the bulk of this movie's runtime goes, where they're just like going through rooms, they're taking out some guards.
And like, there's a germ of an interesting idea here, where Scott Eastwood and the super friend squad are going through every room in this compound, and Scott Eastwood will like enter a room, and then when he enters a room, the screen gets all hazy, and he starts remembering what the room looked like when he was part of the cult.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he's in the room with himself, and like people are like walking by, and guys are walking by, and the Bakushai is saying things or whatever. But then the squad is also there, and they're again, Manningham is all like, "Hey, wake up, man! We're storming the compound
Stop
now
having
or whatever."
flashbacks.
Yeah.
We're here.
As the camera turns around him having like a heart-to-heart with his girlfriend, the commanding officer will put his hand on his shoulder and like snap him out of
But
welcome back to the real world.
It fails because, as we said earlier, one, it's completely inconsistent, and two, this movie looks like dog shit.
Yeah.
I can barely tell what's going on, especially in this storm the compound moment where everything is underlit, it's muggy, it's like it's terrible CGI blood and fire and explosions.
Like every once in a while there's going to be like a fight in a stairwell, and there's like that awful strobe light effect that where he has like the close combat fight with another French shoulder.
Yeah.
I like
One
this
on the
guy.
stairs
I
where he
like
just,
this
like,
guy.
walks
This
down
guy.
the
I'm going to
stairs.
mispronounce this guy's name, but he's a character actor that I like in a bunch of stuff. I believe his name is Saeed Taghmaoui. No, I completely fucked that up. But he's in like a ton of stuff. He's in John Wick 3. He's in Wonder Woman. He's in G.I. Joe. He's in a great French film called La Haine.
Okay.
Anyway,
but
but
it's-
like, yeah, I noticed him when he showed up.
It's just
yeah.
weird that members of this program who should conceptually be all American soldiers, they have a couple of French soldiers.
There's splinter cells all over the place, man. Maybe they
guess.
have an offshoot of the French Foreign Legion. We
guess.
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the sequel. Scott Eastwood has to go to France.
They make their way to the hatchery where they find a little girl and I suppose her mother, and they're kind of cradled away in a
And
closet.
like we find out that like the kids get like taken away from their mom when they're like basically like right after they're born, and
I'm
they're
not sure how he's doing that. Like,
No.
because again, he has no staff, so he's just taking babies.
Well, he's got step, but they all have PTSD. So like,
he has staff. You keep harping on this point. He has staff. They're called cult members.
Nah,
he can make them do whatever he wants them to do. That's how a cult works.
Here's what I'm saying, okay? He has no leadership team that we really ever see,
that's true.
right? So
He's got backup
I get that
dancers.
he has the whole cult. Everybody's
He
there.
has Scott Eastwood's wife, and he has that one guy who sets himself on fire.
Yeah,
and the
right?
one and the other French guy.
And
But,
the
like,
other French,
nobody's-
he seems like management.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
doing anything. Like, you can't run a cult that way. You're just a guy. Like, his cult seems to just be running on pure charisma. It's
Oh,
just,
yeah.
It's just him saying things interestingly, and everybody goes along with it. All of these strong-willed soldiers, nobody for a second, except for when he has to fight Scott Eastwood a couple times. Nobody challenges
he
him.
loves fighting Scott
Ever.
Eastwood.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. Well, because we're following Scott Eastwood's story. Maybe other people did challenge him, and we're just not watching that movie.
I'm just saying that in the world of the movie, it should be established
And
that
we'll find
maybe
out-
he has at least some leadership team.
And we'll
that's
find out
enabling him.
later this year in Bakushai Origins, coming soon to Prime.
Well, they say that he was like a decorated soldier, right? So he might have been like top of the academy, Purple Heart recipient, like an absolute war hero. But you know, the PTSD took him down a darker path. or
One
whatever.
presumes-
One guy. There's no teachers.
No,
there's
no,
classes. There's no.
You have to assume that there must be, because
Every-
it's just the movie. This is a cheap movie, and
Yeah.
it doesn't
Cult has,
it doesn't
like,
have
people that manage other
that
people that
mu-
manage
It
other
has
people.
maybe like a budget for like maybe 50 extras. That's
think
it, and
you'd
they're
need,
just
like, 4 or
reusing like the
5
same guys.
4 or 5 RAs at least. If,
Yeah.
if he had any sort of staff.
I mean, I agree with you, Harrison. He would have had to have had like midwives. He would have had to have like a couple of like doctors,
A couple of
staff,
lieutenants
His
at
cult
least.
is
To, like,
just bizarrely unpopulated.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like there's nobody doing any work. It's just everyone listening.
couple of chefs. Definitely gotta have some chefs.
Where are the chefs?
in a cult?
yeah.
Where's his security? Like he doesn't have security at all.
The whole base is full of security.
No, it's like
They're soldiers.
They have guns everywhere, but like there's nobody. He actually has no protection.
But anyway,
Yeah.
they take the kids away from their mothers, and they're raised by the Bakushai,
And they're branded
They
and-
never know.
they're branding the babies. They're branding the babies, you guys.
That's maybe a step too far. You know what? I was on board with the Shinjas for a while, but like
You
this
were?
this is maybe one step too far. When they branded the baby is when I jump off.
Yeah.
But we're led to infer by this very throwaway moment that kind of doesn't inform the rest of the movie that this. What are they called? Shiva moms? Whatever the fuck.
Mamasukis.
Mamasukis. This one Mamasuki has found...
Suki Mama.
Has found her daughter,
Yeah.
and now Scott Eastwood's all... There's a moment that made me laugh when like Scott Eastwood's all like, you know that big hole by the fence? Yeah, go there. That's your best way of escaping.
You know the break in the fence down by the river?
Yes.
That's your best bet of getting out of here.
The big hole by the fence. That's how I get out of here.
You don't say.
Thank God that you're here.
Yeah, it was weird because, like, I guess we are supposed to assume that they know about the big hole. He knows about the big hole.
Well, he says, "Do you know about the big hole?" And they say, "Yes."
Yeah, we
not how-
we patched that up.
It's not how human people would talk to each other. I just feel like he'd say something else, right? Like he'd be like, big hole by the fence.
Right.
Yeah.
That's your safest way out.
So
of
the
here
FBI
this time.
are
Like,
done waiting. They start fucking shit up,
Yeah.
and
do it very poorly. A helicopter arrives on the scene and it is instantly shot down.
It hits the building and does like no structural damage.
No.
It's amazing. It explodes and the whole structure of the building stays.
The Bakugan, the Babadook, whatever the fuck he's called. He's got some suicide bombers, which is
Beyblade. Yeah, this was a moment where it's like we had to rewind this a couple of times because they were truly like it's so poorly established. Like at first I'm all like, oh, they're suicide bombing because it's all we see is like a person falling out of a window and then there's an explosion.
Yeah.
But like, there's no establishing shot to show us that is what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened at the beginning. Is a person
A
exploded.
person just exploded out of nowhere because why not?
Yeah.
They had one left over. And Scott Eastwood has a fight with Saeed Tamahau and
Is that the fight where he shoots the?
yes.
Well, yeah, shoots the bulletproof vest.
No, it's not that.
You mentioned this because this is a great point.
Yeah.
you
Okay.
had.
So he shoots the bulletproof vest, right?
Yeah,
And, like,
to get him off him. Yeah.
And then he's got him up against the wall, and he goes blam 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 3 times around his head.
Oh yeah, to deafen him.
And leaves no holes in the wall. The whole wall is just right there, and it's just like a perfectly painted wall.
So, did
Wall's
they-
not smoldering? They just forgot to put anything in there. It's just
That's just a failure of the production.
Wow.
Of the production designer of the movie. I get that you're saving money by doing like digital like gun flare or like whatever digital blood and everything like that. Put a hole in a wall.
Yeah.
Get like a hammer and put a hole in a wall.
Get on it,
up
visual.
the
Get on it, visual effects artists. There were 7 goddamn production teams on
the
this.
camera lingers on the wall
Yeah.
for like every shot in this, like an extra 5 seconds.
No,
if you
but
wanted
to your point, Jameson, he like fires around the guy's head, and then he's all like, "Where's my wife? Tell her." And then he continues to have a conversation with him, whereas like in reality, it would be all like, "Where's my wife?" What?
Yeah.
He's doing the Archer thing.
Yeah. I said, "Where's my wife?" Yeah. So the squad find their way to Jamie Foxx's situation room there. He's not there, but then the door closes behind Scott Eastwood, so he's trapped in there, and that's when Jamie Foxx plays his
this is the
pre-recorded,
room
Got a pre-recorded message.
his Saw message.
His audiovisual team put that together.
That's right.
This is the room where Jamie Foxx keeps all of his like Japanese paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Like he has like a big mask and like a shield and like whatever. And
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like
Anime
it's just like the most
posters and
pretentious
shit.
guy showing you around his loft or whatever.
The fucking Okatsu guy that he is. Sorry, what?
His cult is
Just
Wu-Tang?
Wu-Tang. It's just the Wu-Tang clan. Everyone's in the Wu-Tang clan.
Sure, I guess. Okay, so who's who?
I don't know. I'm just saying that if we're talking about, like a very black cult that is borrowing heavily from Japanese culture, it's the Wu-Tang clan.
It's a black cult that's borrowing from Japanese culture, except he couldn't find a single other black person who wanted to join it.
Or an Asian person.
Yeah, it's really strange strange to see this crowd of like, shaved head white men just all taken in by this one charismatic black man singing like songs from Curtis Mayfield albums that they don't know. Like,
Look,
I just don't think this crowd...
As previously stated, I didn't know it was a Curtis Mayfield song.
Fine,
so
fine.
if I'm in that crowd and Jamie Foxx comes out and he gives the performance that he gives in this movie, I might join his cult.
I just don't think those guys would.
I mean,
That's all I'm saying.
I'll admit it, guys. The way that he's just like absolutely talking gibberish, and he's also a musician who has an army of enablers and sycophants around him.
He has a gold microphone.
I was thinking,
a solid gold microphone. That can't work very well.
I was just like, holy shit, are they doing like fucking off his meds Kanye West?
No, maybe. Maybe.
God, I never thought about that before, but like Kanye is like a couple of bad years away from like starting
what Jamie
from
Foxx is
starting
doing
the program.
Yeah.
A
little
His
bit.
audience isn't going to look like that.
No, that's
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that in order to maintain that level of power, he's going to need some staff, you guys.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So Jamie Foxx says on the closed circuit TV that, who do you think okayed this program? Why, it's your boss, Robert De Niro. He's in on this.
Showtime's Robert De Niro?
Yes, you guessed it.
Remember Showtime with Eddie Murphy? There we go. And Scott Eastwood is not happy about
No,
this.
I don't believe it. Fucking betrayed me. And
That guy that I met one time?
yeah. He was in on it the whole time.
We've omitted to mention that throughout all of this, Scott Eastwood is narrating this entire movie.
Fuck, yes.
Because he's not talking when he's on
Yes.
screen. When he's on screen, you are seeing his face not move.
desperately
while
silent.
People
Yes.
off screen, including him, are talking. That's what's happening in every scene.
He has lots of dialogue, but his lips aren't moving when
Never
he's saying
ever.
it.
Yeah.
No, it's like watching an anime where they're just panning across the still image.
And that still image is Scott Eastwood's just like normal blinking face.
To be fair, like he's got to like memorize lines and move at the same time. That's a lot
That's
of brain.
tough.
That's a
That's
lot of
not
brain
easy.
power.
Yeah.
That's
Dad
a lot
never
of
told him about
coordination.
that.
Talk
Yeah.
and act. I don't know.
So the Super Friend squad gets cornered by some of the Shinjas. The sprinkler system turns on, and we're instantly told that it is not water; it is in fact gasoline
Right,
that is
just
coming out.
pouring over them for I think 20 minutes of the film.
They are
They're
so
drinking
They are
it.
drenched in gas.
Every ounce of their clothing is just drenched in gasoline.
Yeah.
And they have a standoff with these Shinjas.
Standoff that turns into a bunch of gunfire.
Yeah.
Again, they've just been drinking gasoline for hours.
All you have to do is think about firing a gun, and they would all set on fire immediately.
All shoot their guns.
But there's like 4 or 5 guns that got off, and then John Leguizamo's all like, "Stop shooting! It'll set the gasoline off." It's like,
right.
know,
Yeah.
so you know how gasoline works. All right.
What a stupid
Very lucky. Just very lucky. That
What a
it didn't.
stupid system. What if there's an actual fucking fire at the compound?
Yeah, no, again, it's because he's doing his own fire safety checks as well.
That's right.
Because he hired... I'm going to stop hammering this point. But I'm just saying, it takes a lot of people to run a cult. You can't just be charisma.
This is part of the Bakushi's plan, is that he wants to burn down his compound so everyone assumes that he's dead, but secretly he's going off to his other super secret
To his James Bond lair.
in Snake River Canyon.
At the same time that he was pre-recording the message for Scott Eastwood and preloading the sprinklers with gasoline, he was also building a beautiful, brilliant underwater lair
Like in a dam site.
in the Snake River Canyon.
In the Snake River Canyon.
If you had told me before watching this movie that the denouement of this movie would take place in Utah, I don't know if I would believe you, but it's got to take place somewhere.
So the compound explodes. Our heroes get away. The guy who doesn't like Scott Eastwood is not in the movie. John Leguizamo's not in the movie anymore. And now we cut to the scene of the movie.
There's an inexplicable time jump because I don't know if either of you noticed this. In like when he's storming the compound, Scott Eastwood has a cut on his face, and then when he confronts Robert De Niro, the cut has been stitched up. So like a couple of days have passed.
Sure.
Him and John Leguizamo and Cauliflower Ear got out of there.
Okay,
and
you know
they
what?
were-
Now it makes a little more sense that you say it was a couple of days later, because one of my notes is that we see Robert De Niro and he's just in like a hotel bedroom.
Yeah.
And at this time, I'm still
it's where the pool was.
well,
It's the Ramada Inn. Yeah.
So because this movie is like so shoddily made and like it's kind of impossible impossible to figure out like where we are in the timeline. I assumed that this was happening at the same time as the infiltration.
Yeah.
So
This was like an hour later.
this was
but,
like yeah. So Robert De Niro is in this fucking motel, hotel, bedroom, whatever. And I just keep thinking, if this action is happening at this time, shouldn't he be in like a fucking situation room or a war room where there's like other soldiers kind of around there to guard him, so a guy like Scott Eastwood can't get the fucking drop on him?
Yeah, no, but again, everybody in this movie is just freestyling with no team. They're just doing it on charisma.
In the case of that one scene with the guy who was on the crutches, they literally were freestyling because they didn't write any dialogue. But yes, Scott Eastwood does get the drop on Robert De Niro, shoots him in the leg.
Yeah, and then has his fucking Joker moment.
Oh boy, he does go full Joaquin Phoenix, and Robert De Niro has been on the other end of that before. And but no, Robert De Niro notices that his bathtub is inexplicably filled with water, and then Scott Eastwood shoots him in the leg, and Scott Eastwood he's doing something. Ooh. Oh boy, what would we call this style of acting that he's attempting to
overacting?
Do? Yeah,
Eastwood method, bad acting.
Bad overacting.
What were you doing with the Bakushi?
I'm gonna ask you the same question. Fuck you.
Oh. Don't worry.
If there's
hell below. Wow. Gonna go.
I'll give him this. I've never seen Clint Eastwood attempt a performance like this before. But
No,
yes,
Clint probably has more sense than this.
He's very much like, in this moment, like, he's meant to be all like, Robert De Niro, you betrayed us, you were actually funding Jamie Foxx this entire time, and like, you would think that he would just be like action tough guy mad, but for some reason he's all like, hey, Robert De Niro, we're gonna have a little bath over here. Oh, you think that's a problem? You think it's a problem? And it's just like, where did this fucking come from?
I like when he sticks his face in the water
with Robert De
just
Niro
to yell at
him. That's sweet. That's just, what a choice.
Yeah, what a bad choice.
He never acts like this before or after this one scene. It's just like this one scene where it's just all like, Brad, I'm going to try something.
Yeah.
I'm going all in on this take.
No, please don't. It's okay, Scott.
This is the take.
No, that's all right.
You didn't hear me. I said, this is the take. And action.
Do you want me to call my dad up on this?
I'm going to call my daddy.
Yeah.
Sure hope Clint doesn't hear about this.
Yeah, holy fuck. Robert De Niro he just says like, yeah, I signed off on all this, but I didn't know Jamie Foxx was going to go rogue with this.
Like this,
but this is the bullshit thing about this whole premise anyways, is because, I don't know what it's like in the military, but my grandfather was an Air Force colonel. You know, I was in the Air Cadets. I kind of know a thing or two about chain of command and how things kind of get done in the military. And this must have had to go through so many stages of approval and review for it to get as far as Jamie Foxx got it to.
Got it to the point that he got it to, where it's just like a fully functioning cult with a secret underground volcano lair.
Did he...
He's saying that he needs a full band for some sort of...
He needs a full band, but they're just drummers.
He needs a lot of studio time.
He needs a meat locker. He needs a hatchery. He needs us to license this one Curtis Mayfield track.
He needs a meat locker, but he's not going to keep meat in there. He's just going to use it to gas people.
He's planning on drowning a few people with PTSD.
He asked for a bunch of gasoline for the sprinklers.
Well, that's how you cure PTSD, Jameson, is you drown someone until they don't have PTSD.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That's how you
clear. I guess he didn't want to cure it enough.
That's how I learned how to swim.
He needs a dunk tank.
Look,
he needs a dunk tank.
You make a joke, Jameson, but that is Jamie Foxx's like whole philosophy. It's all like, I'm gonna punch the PTSD out of you, and then when someone's bleeding on the floor, it's all like, you didn't want it bad enough. That's what it is. That's his whole philosophy.
He's gonna need a car with really good brakes, so that you can step on the brakes, and this thing will parallel park on the edge of a cliff.
I mean, some of the lines that Jamie Foxx says early in this movie are things as like...
Some of the lines?
This is like, an example of some of the rhetoric that he puts out there is, to think is to lose, and disobedience is worse than death. and fucking no one was doing a psych eval on all of this stuff. This guy with PTSD.
No, because they all have
to
PTSD,
leave.
so they don't, like, they're not in their right mind. They can't think for themselves.
I have to imagine a lot of the top military brass don't have PTSD.
They're not coming to this.
They're not. They're not watching this.
Oh, right.
They got
Oh.
other stuff going on. Yeah.
That Evely is fine.
All I'm saying is there's no way that this should have ever gotten past the conceptual stage.
No, but Evely's writing her Dana Scully reports, just like, here's what's happening, and then they get that, and they're like, oh, this all sounds pretty reasonable.
How dare you? Dana Scully was a doctor. She did things on that show.
She was assigned to the X-Files to debunk Agent Mulder's work, and we all know that.
Yeah, I do now.
So, like, this whole reveal about, like, Robert De Niro secretly funded Jamie Foxx, like, it goes nowhere. Like, Jamie Foxx is all like, haha, did you know that Robert De Niro once worked and he, like, gave me the money for this? And Scott Eastwood's like, what? And then he goes to confront Robert De Niro, and Robert De Niro's all like, yeah, I did it, but, like, I didn't think he would, like, make a cult out of it, and now I'm actively trying to stop him, which you already knew from, like, the beginning of the movie.
That's what I said.
And it's just like...
Fuck, that should probably have been, like, in the briefing. It's like, yeah, and I should know that Jamie Foxx is going to be a huge danger to this, because I trained him. And like,
he maybe could have just told everyone that and
Yeah.
probably saved himself a bullet in the leg.
Yeah.
That's on De Niro.
I do like when he tells that to Scott Eastwood, though. Scott Eastwood's kind of like, oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
okay.
And then he
just
stops. And then he
Whoops.
stops overacting. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'll
My bad.
I
So
shouldn't have filled it up with
Scott
water.
Eastwood remembers that there was a moment where the Bakushi was talking about, like,
Where they went on a ski trip or
it's
something.
like it's like he talks about, like, he has, like, a thing about, like, the promised land or whatever, and this is what we need to get
Euteria,
through.
yeah.
Which I'm now just realizing it is actually a longer form of Utah,
Yeah.
which is where he
Utah,
the thing.
Uteria, Utopia,
Yeah.
it's all...
it's,
probably-
New World Order shit. Yeah.
probably-
Yeah, and amidst all of this, there's also, like, another flashback where we find out that his wife was pregnant. We also find out that, like, the Bakushi is the one that sets up all of the relationships within the cult.
He sanctions the
He
relationship.
sanctions the relationships. There's a really funny moment where, like, first of all, there's so many scenes where Scott Eastwood and his wife are just, like, laying in, like, an open field, and they're picking flowers, and he, like, hands her a little flower.
Oh.
You know, things that people in love do.
They're always listening to, like, some old French song from, like, the 1930s.
And then Jamie Foxx pulls up in his pickup truck, and he says, Scott Eastwood, come over here. And he says, oh, like, look, man,
Women ain't nothing but trouble.
but it's like, you are primed for, like, a relationship, but it has to come from, I have to decide who, like, your person is. I'm not sanctioning this relationship with Eleni right now.
Or whatever the fuck her name is.
Whatever the fuck her name is. And then Scott Eastwood listens. And then Scott Eastwood listens to this. He says, like, yes, sir. And then Jamie Foxx goes, don't call me sir. We're the same. I'm exactly the same as you.
I'm telling you who to date.
That's right. Yeah.
And what your destiny is.
I control your entire life.
You
like,
and
who
me,
live
you know,
with,
we're
like,
the-
but I'm not a sir.
The
you know?
only difference between you and I is that I pick your girlfriends. It's not...
It's not a big
We don't
deal.
have to make this a thing.
And if you were to have children, you have to immediately give them over to me. But I'm not a sir.
Yeah.
Kids
I'm
go
not
to
like
my
a
hatchery.
manager here. Please. Mr. Bakushi was my father.
Please. It's a more than Joe to my father. I'm just Joe.
So we finally get to Act 3, and also that's a wrap on Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
He got out of there as fast as possible.
Yeah,
after
John
this.
Leguizamo gave him a lift.
Yeah.
Presumably went to go get medical attention for his shot up knee.
So yeah, Scott Eastwood goes to this dam that that we know has
This damn what?
this
Aha!
this damn.
And that's why I'll be the first in the Five Timers Club.
Scott Eastwood goes up to this place and he's got like the 3 stripes of camel paint on his face.
I couldn't see him at first. Like, it's just, I thought it was just a shot of an empty speedboat that was coming up to the...
3 shitty finger wipes of stripes on his face.
He looks like the basketball from the original Toronto Raptors logo. Do you remember?
I actually did have that
I
reference.
do, yeah. Sports bug.
It's like, why did he even bother? It's... It's actually
It's mostly
military.
It's the type of makeup where there's so little of it, it's actually more distracting.
Yeah, and it's even more so because where he goes into is a rocky cavernous tunnel. So there's no plant life in it.
This is the thing. Is he's doing this presumably to infiltrate the cult, a cult that he used to be a member of, and his entire disguise is a hood. And a
face paint
and three lines of face paint on his face. He's not even he has a short sleeved shirt on, so he's just like walking around with like this hood on, and he's passing like people that presumably he saw every day for like the entire time that he was part of the cult.
Who probably already know that he's not a member of the cult anymore.
Yeah, and the Bakushi has probably said this guy's probably on his way to get his wife back.
Yeah.
So like be on the lookout.
So movie, you got to make up your mind: is he able to infiltrate this cult because people just remember him being in the cult, or are they going to remember him in this cult so he needs to disguise himself a little bit better? You got to pick one or the other and not do like this half one foot, half the other.
He strolls in there, counter to traffic, becowled. Nobody says a thing. Nobody says a goddamn thing to him.
He also sets up a bomb.
That's so stupid.
He sets up a bomb that's going to blow up the dam. He sets it for like an hour. So it's like...
I got to go in there.
He knows that he has like exactly an hour to do everything that he needs to do.
To go in there, confirm whether or not his wife is alive or not, find her, get her the fuck out of there, kill Jamie Foxx, and then we all have a Merry Christmas.
So basically, Scott Eastwood walks into like a big room. The French guy from before pulls a gun on him, and he says like, "You're not gonna shoot me." The Bakushi wants to do that himself. Jamie Foxx doesn't do this, but he might as well come around the corner going... like for all intents and purposes, because that's what like the type of reveal is.
Yeah.
And he's walking up there, and he has like this big moment. It's all like, it would be so easy, Scott Wood, to label me as the villain.
Ingenious, isn't it, Mr. Bond?
You really want to see me as the villain? I'm all like, my brother in Christ, you have a secret underground lair filled with hench people.
Yeah, he's on an underground lair, and he also comes out there with like his new villain look.
I cannot believe we have gotten this far into the podcast and we have not talked about Jamie Foxx's wigs yet.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That last one was a masterpiece because he comes out and it's Beekman's World, right? Like it's the exact look from Beekman's World.
I was thinking he looked more like Bette Midler in Hocus Pocus. Because it's very pointy.
It's very trapezoid,
it's quite the look. He clearly had two wigs for it, and the wigs actually had different curl patterns. So the one that he has in the tunnel is like a 3C curl pattern that's like just like a not as tight a curl as I have. But then the one he has in the fight scene is a 4C. That's my hair. So like either he was able to take a bunch of hairspray out of his hair before the fight.
He's getting fight ready, is what he's doing.
Or he like switched wigs, and he has a wig like a fighting wig, and his fighting wig is his blackest wig. I like that idea the best.
That's a perfect segue because they settle this like gentleman because he challenges him to Mortal Kombat
in the arena. He says like, we're gonna go to the arena,
and it's this fucking ring of fire in the bottom of this pit, and there's all these
accompanied by
the war drummers
that are like 7 of them. So like we were wondering the entire thing because we kept hearing all this cheering and like presumably like the cult members are watching the two of them fight to the death. And much later than it needs to be established is that they're at like the top of the dam.
They're like a small upper balcony.
When I saw the drummers, when I saw like all of like the
who
drummers
are on ground level
with their big Japanese drums and and they have like traditional face paint on, and there's like 7 of them. As soon as I saw them, my assumption was that they had like their own little drum platform or whatever. But then the camera pans out, they're just on the ground with them.
They're on
just
the mat.
They're like right next to where the fight's going. And I'm all like, that seems like a weird place to put the drum circle.
What's crazy too is that all those drummers have to have PTSD.
Yeah, that's true. All the members of this cult are suffering from PTSD.
These guys aren't even drummers. This is actually just something they've done since they got home.
And Jamie Foxx is just getting them to defend his compound with like bazookas, and there's crashing helicopters and everything. And now they're watching this fucking fight pit.
The concept of this movie is that Jamie Foxx has taken all of these ex-soldiers that are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and he's turned them into cult members, but by the end of the movie expects us to think that we're at the fucking Thunderdome. Like, the two things aren't the same. You wouldn't just have, like, somebody go, like, here's your drumsticks, and then go, like, cool, I do this now.
You don't know what it's like, Kaz.
I know what it's like.
I
know what it's like in the Thunderdome. Thank you very much. I know what it's like beyond Thunderdome.
I know what it's like to be in the Tacoma Dome.
Yeah, that's
so I see Daisy there once.
not as good a dome.
Nah. so they duke it out.
Scott Eastwood has his shirt off, and then we pan over to Jamie Foxx, and he does not have his shirt off. And I have to imagine it's just like Scott Eastwood just chose to do that.
So there's a scene that happens off screen here.
Yes.
We don't see.
Yeah.
Where Evalie is in her office typing up the expense reports.
Right, yeah.
And someone is like, hey, the Belushi is fighting your husband. I think maybe in the arena.
My husband?
And she's like, huh?
Yeah.
And the only thing she can do, obviously, is run to the opera balcony,
Yeah.
because that's the only place to view
I
this from.
literally wrote down, oh, fuck me, she is alive. Because it's sort of like...
Of course she's alive. That's...
well, the movie kind of plays it fast and loose on whether or not they're trying to lure him in there with, like, a false letter.
Well, see, what I thought was going to happen is that, like, because they keep, like, dropping all these hints that she's still alive or whatever. I thought the reveal was going to be that she was alive, but she was also, like, evil. Like, she was with Jamie Foxx the entire time
That
or
would have
whatever.
been awesome.
Yeah.
Or he takes off his mask, and he's been Evalie the whole time.
Or it's like, that would be great. Yeah.
That's a whole
Unbelievable.
different
If that,
kind
would,
of
if
ending.
that would make the wigs make sense.
Like,
because
the
they're
wigs
very
Wouldn't make the
clearly-
pregnancy make a
Everything
sense, but all right.
But yeah,
explains how he pulled you out of
it's
the
like,
water.
it's like, like she says in the flashback or whatever, it's all like, I'm pregnant, like the Bakushi will never allow this or whatever, and like, I thought that it was gonna like, cut over to her as all like, oh, like, Eleni, you're alive, and then like, the kid comes out and the kid is not white, but then that doesn't happen.
But
Classic. That's how one of the Shakespeare plays goes. And it's one of the best lines. We know this one.
We know this one. That's how we became friends.
That's how we became friends.
But the implication now is just that, yes, Evalie and Scott Eastwood did escape the cult together, and they were involved in that crash, but the cult only retrieved her, and they left Scott Eastwood to die.
He was in a coma for 2 days, he says, so
Right.
presumably they weren't able to, like, circle back and snatch him up. Also, like, they were actively trying to escape the cult.
Right.
So I think...
She wasn't. She just went back to it. They just.
I think maybe, again, to play devil's advocate here, I think, like, maybe, like, the thought process is, like, we got the girl back. Scott Eastwood is like a lost cause, and also maybe he's in a coma that he'll never wake up from. It's maybe better to just let him believe that his wife is dead so that he won't come back and start shit.
For
or
all the
whatever.
brilliance of the Bakushi's foresight, he didn't see that coming.
Well, I'll say too, if you think that you are going to marry the only woman in a cult without maybe somebody trying to throw you off a cliff and leave you for dead,
There has to be other women, Harrison, because there's all these kids.
I
They
don't
have to
think
come
so.
from
I mean,
somewhere.
yeah, there's obviously we've met a couple other women.
Yeah.
but we don't
Who
see
knows
them-
how long this program's been going on
Yeah,
for?
we don't see them in the crowd or
Yeah.
anything.
Anyways, the bombs go off and stop the fight.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And good, because like Scott Eastwood gets his ass handed.
Oh, he was
to him.
doing fuck all against Jamie Foxx.
every
But I mean,
fight.
what can he do? He's Electro. He's got
Yeah,
superpowers.
He's really, and he's an incredible fighter. He's the best singer.
Yeah.
He's the best speaker.
One assumes he's the best swimmer. That
the best-
he
yeah,
that
'cause
he
he-
dived into the water and got
Yeah.
Eleni out.
Pulled
yeah.
her right out so heroically that she just left with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, so the bomb goes off and the dam breaks and all the water starts like washing down. And for some reason, both Scott Eastwood and his wife decide to jump into the lake. And I'm just all like, that's where the water's going.
Oh, yeah, the pressure's
You need to
gonna
go.
crush you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
If the water pressure does, then like the falling rubble of the dam will.
And Jamie Foxx just sees the dam collapse and he just decides
Does the
to...
Christ pose
He does
and-
the Christ pose. He decides to accept his fate.
Yeah.
The water is very slow.
Slow
He
motion
probably
water.
could have gotten out of the way. He had more than enough time to
No.
get out of the way. But no, he decides to go out like Dominic Toretto.
And then there's a really fucking ham-fisted moment where there's Scott Eastwood Eastwood, and he can't find Eleanor or whatever the fuck her name is in the water. And he's like, oh, I can't lose her in this river again.
The same way. How ironic that I'm losing her the same way twice.
And it's like, oh, he can't find her. Oh, he found her. Yay, happy ending.
Didn't just find her. She reached her hand
She
into
found
the
him.
water. Right? She found him.
Yeah.
And then he reached up with the arm that he was wearing his Fitbit with. And even though it's his beautiful wife's hand and he'd grab it, he fucking latches on here. And then she pulls him up with the superhuman strength, I'm going to say.
While the damn water is crashing down upon them, turning their bones to mulch.
So if you're underwater, then water falling from
That's
on
where the
top
water's
doesn't
supposed to
bother
be.
you.
It's
You're
fine, yeah. There's another dumb thing where it's like he's having the flashback to like the first time they were drowning, and like the car is going into the lake, and he's holding onto her arm. There's a moment where like he lets go of her arm and she gets like sucked away, like the water pressure like sucks her away, and she's like pulled away into like the murky depths of the
Like
water
a
or whatever.
riptide or whatever.
And then he gets himself out of the car, and we see the car is already on the bottom of the lake. So where did she go? Where could she have gone to? There was
Foxx
no more lake
swam
there.
through so fast. And got her.
Like I said, man, it's hard to gauge where you are in the timeline in this movie, moment to moment.
He got her, and like 10 minutes later, he's recording that message. Like, that's how good he is. He's doing all this stuff. He knows.
He's on top of it, yeah. And now he's dead. Maybe. Except maybe
He's moving on up.
He's the best.
Will return.
He's the best swimmer in the world, so he just swam up the dam like he was a spawning salmon.
He'll be back in Belushi, too.
And Belushi too.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electro Boogaloo.
Electro Belushaloo.
It's a tie.
Yeah, and he's back playing Blue Electro again. And then Sean Leguizamo and the other guy pick him up in a helicopter, and we find out who Scott Eastwood has been talking to this entire movie.
A PTSD group in San Diego,
which is probably what he should have done in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know if he's like in the support group, if he's leading the support group. I don't know. He's in a nice, supportive support group of PTSD sufferers, and then he goes to meet his lovely lady there, and the kid, who I guess we're just gonna assume is his daughter.
Yeah,
I want to say too that
who looked like she was like 10.
Yeah.
She was not like a young girl.
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
I like to imagine that when they went to when they set up the PTSD support group scene, they were like, how should he look in this scene? And then Scott Eastwood was like, I want you to make me look exactly like Bradley Cooper in Silver Linings Playbook. Like, that's the exact look I want. I want that exact haircut because I'm doing that. I want that. This is my Oscar moment. And they were like, yeah. And boy, oh boy, is that ever the haircut.
The Mule's Bradley Cooper?
Stealth's bro.
You like how I tied that in? Because that was directed by Clint Eastwood? There you go. Yeah, and then the movie's blessedly over.
Yeah, that's Tin Soldier or the Tin Soldier.
Take your pick.
Yeah.
That scene on the beach was pretty ham-fisted. Like, it felt like it was time for the credits, and then they gave us just one extra scene of him.
We also noted, so like a song starts playing over the credits, and this was we had the subtitles on, and this was the moment. Yes, because we're cool like that. Because we love to read. The thing I like about movies, Jameson, is reading.
What did you find?
This was the moment where whoever was like writing the subtitles out for like Paramount or whatever clearly gave up because. Like the subtitles are keep going and they're doing the lyrics of the song, but the lyrics are not matching the rhythm of the song.
Oh yeah.
So it's like by the time he gets to like the first lyric, 12 subtitles have gone by. Like so, like whoever was like typing that up is just like, I'll just toss this in here. Everyone's turned this off by now or whatever. Everyone's watching South Park because that's the only reason why you have Paramount Plus.
Why do they even bother typing up the lyrics? Just put like diegetic music.
Because some people can't hear, Jameson, and
Yeah,
they need to know the lyrics to Citizen
typical
Cope.
crutch blood comment.
The guy with the burned ears, he needs to know. All right, was there anything in this piece of shit that we didn't talk about yet? I wanted to mention that early in the movie when Scott Eastwood is deciding whether or not he wants to take up arms against Jamie Foxx, he's having a redneck hot tub. He's like sitting in a bathtub in the middle of the yard.
He looks like he's a drifter. Like sad Scott Eastwood looks like he lives on the side of the road, but then we find out he has like a kind of nice cabin in the woods, complete with this sort of like bespoke outdoor bathtub that has like its own like little like heater that's like
A campfire?
yeah, it's like it's like he has to like to get like hot water in this tub, he has to build a fire.
That's called a redneck hot tub.
Is that what it's actually called?
You build a fire over like a bathtub, and then you sit in the bathtub, and that's boiling up the water. You're essentially boiling yourself.
Oh,
and
yeah,
apparently it's
I would not do that. That
yeah,
sounds
apparently it's
very dangerous.
It's apparently a very good way to legit burn and scar your ass. Yeah,
he just didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
That's how
I just want my kids back.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
yeah.
I just want my kids back.
Yeah.
My kid that I just found out that I had. No, I mean, like, the only thing is just, like...
How in the world did that kid survive that crash? I just feel like... I mean, obviously,
Well, she was in her mummy's tummy. So there was, like, lots of...
Is that how that happened?
Yeah, there was lots of cushioning.
At
At that point in time, she was probably just a zygote, so I have to imagine she probably was
she
fine.
bounced
Yeah.
back. She doesn't remember.
That was just like a random kid that they found. That wasn't even theirs.
Yeah, that they adopted later on.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's always an option.
Yeah, this movie really wanted to be, like, super artistic and stuff. Like, all of, like, Scott Eastwood's flashbacks are, like, highlighted by, like, static shots of, like, glass cracking and, like, a tree full of birds where all of them fly away all at once. And, like...
A few, like there's some where there's like cherry blossom petals dancing in the
like
back.
He's
and
drowning in a lake, and then it cuts to like his wife in a glass tank, like it's the Prestige or something.
Yeah.
Like it's just
they're lying on a field together, but then the water kind of swallows around the ground.
That was actually almost kind of a cool thing. That was
That would have been the best one.
Yeah.
It still wasn't any good.
It was in this terrible movie, so it didn't work. But like that was like a moment where I'm like, that's actually almost kind of accidentally cool.
Yeah.
But
The one where he sees her in the mirror and he's looking into the mirror, but then like someone shoots the mirror and in that one crack she disappears and shocks him back into reality.
You had a moment where you really laughed where like that happened. Yeah. So like he's with his wife in a flashback, and then she disappears, and then he walks over to a mirror where it's like 3 mirrors. So there's 3 of them.
These who am I mirrors.
Yeah. Who am I mirrors? And then his wife walks back into the frame, and it's like, where did you go? You were just here.
Into the mirror dimension.
Yeah, like just in case it wasn't clear that he has a fractured mind.
Yeah.
They gave us this, ham-fisted triptych mirror situation, which was bad. I just want to say that I have actually never watched a movie that had so many close-ups of somebody not talking. And like I really like
That's why you hire Scott Eastwood.
I was blown
to
away.
not talk.
Like no, and there were times that like I played a little game to get through this movie where I would just like, how long is it going to be before Scott Eastwood says something? Right? Because he's here, this is his scene, he's the lead, and then the camera would like right in on his face. And sometimes like he'd be doing stuff that you needed to see, right? Like when he puts his hand on his girlfriend's heart and you just see the tip of his pinky because you're like in deep close up. And then, like when he's in the car with Jamie Foxx, the camera's on him, and he's just reacting to Jamie Foxx monologuing for the whole time. And then there were times that the camera would be on him, and he'd be narrating while somebody talked to him, and he wasn't responding to that person, but he was talking to us without his lips moving. I've never seen that before. I really like.
That's the most he's fucking capable of, I'd say.
That's the Brad Furman touch.
Yeah.
No, but as you were saying, like that's to your point. It's all like when he's talking to his wife. There's like a moment where she's like, we have to escape from here. And she says like, but this is our home. And he says, my home is here. And he puts his hand on her heart. But as you say, we see like maybe the tip of his index finger. Yeah. So if you're not paying like incredible attention, you're just all like, our home is here. It's all like, is he agreeing with her?
No, you're here.
He barely
I bet he fucked that scene up and that was just someone else's hand.
That's literally what Harrison said.
I was like, how do we know that's his hand? And then Cass was like, we can infer that it's his hand. But that I don't want to have to infer that's supposed to be
just
an
like gaffer
thing.
on the ground underneath them, just like his hand.
Big huge bandage on it.
Brad, we got bad news in the scene.
All right, get the stun hands.
In the scene where he says, our home is right here, he forgets to touch her. It's a little CGI hand. We'll just do the tip of the finger. Nobody will notice. Just a little fingertip. It'll be fine.
But we noticed.
All right.
We noticed.
Tin Soldier. Do we think this is has a certain something, or is this really nothing?
Harrison, we're throwing it over to you.
Oh, this was just a sack of dog shit garbage.
Awful.
Really bad. ruined by Scott Eastwood and not good before he was cast. Like, I just feel like...
We specifically found a movie to hate watch for Scott Eastwood, and I think we nailed it.
Yeah,
That's all Scott Eastwood movies, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You made me watch a Scott Eastwood movie.
I sure did.
And
You'll never forget it.
I will never forgive you for it either. It was so bad. I hope to God neither of you says that this movie has a certain something.
Nope.
Because if any one of you claims that there's any zhuzh in this piece of shit, I'm going to lose my mind.
Okay, well, on that note, I won't say that this movie has a certain something. It is quite poor. I did not care for it. I kind of had some fun while watching it. It's definitely bad fun.
It's a good hate watch.
Look, Jamie Foxx is having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Look, most of my enjoyment of this movie came directly from Jamie Foxx.
He definitely elevates his scenes.
I'm not going to say anything Scott Eastwood does is good, but I loved the scene where he attempts to do something, largely because he fails so spectacularly at it.
Yeah.
No, but this is not good, and what a fall from grace. I mean, look, this guy was never an amazing director or whatever, but he made The Lincoln Lawyer. That's at least a movie. That's like a legitimate movie that played in theaters and people enjoyed watching.
Yeah.
And now he's doing this stuff. So yeah.
I think the only thing kind of left to say, because we belabored the quality and lack thereof of the acting in this, the story itself is very confusing to me. I don't know who this movie had in mind, and I don't know who this movie is for. I don't know what they're trying to say.
Well, clearly it's for people in the military who are suffering from PTSD.
Wow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
This movie is very disrespectful.
Yeah. So
On
that's
top
real.
of everything else.
Yeah, on top of everything else, that's all I'm gonna say. But other than that, Harrison, thank you for coming back on the show. It's
Thanks.
always a pleasure having you.
I do want to say before I go, this is a podcast, so nobody can see this. But every time Jameson is talking, the camera's on Kaz, and every time that Kaz is talking, it's actually a monologue that he's giving over a still shot of him not.
A big word bubble.
Look, if we had a budget and the time to do it, that's what the video portion of this podcast would be. We would do a pitch perfect parody of the film Tin Soldier, but it's just us and a microphone, and that's the way it's going to be.
That's it.
And there we go. That is the most nothing movie of 2025, Brad Furman's Tin Soldier. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please listen to some other episodes.
Of ours.
Harrison is on 3 of them. Hey, here's a fun thing that I thought. So, our last episode, we did a ranking of the last 50 movies that we have done.
Oh, okay.
You have done 4 movies with us.
Okay.
What is your personal ranking
of
the 4 movies that we have done, which, to remind you, are
Please, thank you.
Tin Soldier,
Yeah.
Gore Verbinski's The Mexican,
Right.
The Return of Superfly,
Right.
and The Movie Out Here.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I'm going to have to give this one to Gore Verbinski's The Mexican. That's the best of the 4 movies that you motherfuckers have made me watch.
Which, for the record, is the movie that you requested that we watch.
Yes, that's right. When I have the choice, I pick something that is watchable and terrible.
What is that?
When you guys have the choice. You pick something that is deliberately cruel to me.
I'm surprised you agreed to keep coming back at this rate.
That's because I love you so much.
Yeah.
Where's my velvet line jacket?
Come back one more time.
It's in the mail.
One more time. There we go.
Yeah.
We'd like to thank Eddie Lamb for his fantastic theme music. You can follow us on some of the social media. You can follow me on Letterboxd. I'm Kaz.
I'm Jameson Rafter. I made a bunch of YouTube cartoons. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. One that you and I collaborated on, Harrison.
That's
so
right,
yeah, watch
that's
that
right.
one. That's close to the 10-year anniversary. Did you realize that?
Oh, we should release
do
a
a little
special box set.
That's
You
right.
should do a commentary.
We've done a commentary.
Have we?
Oh.
Yeah. We'll do a better one.
Another one.
Yeah.
Do a visual
Recording
commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And invite me.
Yes.
Because I'm in it.
You're in it.
There
All
we
right.
go.
You'll be more content with the 3 of us talking to each other.
We should release a color version. Let's
Do an
Remove all the stylistic quality that's go right at.
do an opposite Fury Road
Yeah.
where we had more color.
I didn't write a quote down from any of the actors in this. You talking to me?
I got
I don't
one.
see anybody else
He's
here. You
got
must
one.
be
I
talking.
got one. Evelyn!
Evelyn!
I think he says that at some point, doesn't
sure
he?
does.
Yeah, he definitely screams
Yeah.
at other. And I'm gonna throw a quote for Jamie Foxx. Oh, There we go.
Oh, no, you know what the one is? He says, if there's hell below, we're all going to go. He says that several times.
That's true.
And Scott Eastwood says it one time. And
That's when he has his
It's
outburst.
during his outburst. And to me, honestly, that was blasphemy. You're not allowed to say Curtis Mayfield stuff when you're Scott.
Okay, we're running
and we're
fucking
gonna,
long here.
and
Bye.
we're gonna,
Bye, everyone.
We're gonna officially end on Scott Eastwood's most famous catchphrase of all, and you can cut it off there.